What's up? My God. Oh, what's up, guys? AW's beautiful Saturday night. Well, actually, it is kind of beautiful where I am. How y'all doing this Saturday night? Hope you're all doing it good, man. Doing good. I'm doing good, man. I am doing good tonight, guys. And if you're not in the chat, come say hello in the chat, please. Please, come say hello. We're gonna talk about Joker. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Joker once again. I guess we'll be talking about Joker for a little bit for now on. All right, because this movie, man, it's flopping big time. It's on hard times. This movie. It's not in a good way. Not in a good way. Okay, this movie is struggling, and it's struggling to Morbius levels. That's the funny part. It's struggling to Morbius levels. Majority of people do not like this movie. There's a few people that like this movie. You're always gonna have people that like movies that the general perception, the general audience, generally will not like. There's always gonna be movies like that, TV shows like that. Obviously, that's the case, right? Technically, movies are subjective, even though they're not in a way. But so I'm glad you're all here. All right, I'm glad you're all here. So I know you know my thoughts on the movie yesterday, right? I did the movie yesterday, spoiler review. So you know my thoughts. If you haven't checked it, go check it out. It's yesterday's stream. It's actually a pretty long stream, so yeah, I can understand why you may not want to watch the whole thing. But I did have George on, blinded. All right. So we did have some people on, okay? And we talked about the Joker. And if you know that, if you watched it, you know I did not like it. Obviously, did not like the movie at all. But here, we're not going to look at my review. We're going to look at John Campea's review. And John Campea doesn't typically do spoiler reviews. So we're going to look at his stream. Not his, yeah, well, it comes from his stream, but we're going to take the segment from a stream, I believe, 4 days ago, because he did see the movie earlier before its release, a screening. Sometimes you can find those screenings, right? You can find a screening, and so he managed to find a screening in wherever he lives, wherever his theater is or wherever he lives, right? So he managed to find a screening. So he saw the movie before us 4 days ago. I saw it yesterday, right, a day ago. And most of you probably saw it Thursday or Friday. Okay? But yeah, we're going to take a look at John Campea's video on it. That's what we're going to do, okay? That's the idea, okay? The plan. All right. Now, I believe it's 15 minutes long. Now, synopsis. Brief synopsis. Before I show it. I think I did not watch. I watched some of the video beforehand, but I think I do agree with them about this movie. because I saw it, and he doesn't like this movie. Okay, the theater, he did his typical out of the theater reaction. Once you see the movie, once you know the typical out of theater reaction, you see the movie and you do like a minute to 2 minute clip, basically a small review, right? A small time review, quick reaction. Then he does his review on his show, which he did, okay? Which he did, right? Well, actually, this is 15 minutes, so, and I think I'm gonna agree with them. I think I can agree with them on his about this movie because I saw the movie, so there's probably good. There's probably a lot of things I will agree with him. Now, you might see me that I shit on him, that I laugh at him, criticize him, right? Most of the time on my videos. But there's been a few instances where on my videos where I give him props, where I agree with him, where I say, yeah, you know what, yeah, he's right. And I think this is gonna be one of those videos, okay? Yes, I may not be his biggest supporter. In fact, I like to see what stuff he says, and see what kind of crazy stuff he says. But sometimes I like to hear I like to hear things that I might actually potentially agree with him. And this is clearly one of those things, the Joker. Now, you're all free to come in the chat if you want. But yeah, so we're doing a John Campea stream. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to do I believe, yeah, Penguin episode 3. Right after the Penguin ends, we're going to do the spoiler review for episode 3. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night. Okay? That's what we're going to do. I got to check something briefly, guys. Okay? So, let's get into it, right? So we get into it, guys? Now, I don't see anybody in chat. I want to say hello to people, but I don't see anybody in chat. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take the banner out of the way, the caption out of the way, so you can see me under here, right? Let's take that out of there. And remember, feel free to talk. Feel free to say stuff in the chat. Okay? And tell me, how do you view the movie? Feel free to tell me if you've seen the movie or not, and see if you agree with me or him on points of the movie, specific stuff in the movie. Okay? We're going to go through a lot here, okay? We're going to go through a lot with Campea here to let you all know. All right? And yes, I did, you know what? I did stop this 5 seconds in. Not my thumbnail. I know a thumbnail for you guys, obviously. But I don't see anybody in the chat, so whatever. Whatever. And I'm going to see something, okay? I like to see you guys in the chat. But that's okay. I'm not going to whine about it. Okay? What the fuck? Just read something. All right. All right, so okay. Okay. So yeah, so that's true. I did not stop this. I did not stop on this part of the video on purpose. That was accidental. It's a talent I have. Okay. All right. All right. So, yes, 15 minutes long. And and people, if they're going to pop in and out, feel free. Okay. All right. You ready, guys? Let's do it. Let's do it, shall we? All right. Let's go. Let's go.
Easily amongst my most anticipated movies of October. Hell, one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
Okay. I was on the same. Well, I think a lot of people were on the same boat as John there. I think a lot of people were anticipated to be one of the most anticipated movies, this movies of the year. I think a lot of people were feeling exactly the same about this movie. That this was clearly one of the most anticipated movies of the year for a lot of people because of the 2019 success of The Joker, critically acclaimed hit, right? Oscar nominees, right? The success of the movie, $1 billion, Oscar nominated, right? Kind of movie, right? Nominated for Oscars, awards, right? Bunch of awards. So I understand why like people like Campea and others would be highly anticipated, highly excited for this movie when the year turned to 2024. I get that, so I understand. I'm right. I think a lot of them, like not just him, but a lot of people are. Okay. All right. All right. I'm sorry. All right. Shall we continue? All right. All right. Let's continue, man. Let's continue.
Joker 2. Joker Folie Deux.
Folia do. Okay. I kept
Opened
pronouncing it
in
wrong.
to a special fan screening last night. There was a bunch of them across the country. A whole bunch of us got to go see it. I'm sure many of you at home got to go see it.
So you
I got
got
to
to see
go
the
see it
fan
last night
screening.
with my wife Ann. Now, just for some context, I absolutely passionately love the first Joker movie. I understand that's not a movie that's for everybody. That was reflected in both the critic and the audience ratings. The first one was for everybody. And I said, Joker 2 is not going to make nearly as much money because, again, the first one wasn't for everybody. Some people will.
Agreed. I agree. I think everybody going into this movie, when they projected box office, what they think what this movie is going to generate, I don't think they ever thought it was going to make as much as the first movie, which cost $1 billion mark. But the way this movie is tracking the box office, I don't think they ever forecast that it was going to flop. It's not. It's ranging towards Morbius levels of gross box office numbers. Okay, grossing as much as Morbius did, less than the Marvels. What else? The other film? And Ant-Man. Oh no, Ant-Man made 500 million. Less than the Marvels. The other film they forgot to mention, but Madam Reb. But this is. But this is. But this is like seriously Morbius. You know how bad of a movie you have to be to reach Morbius levels of box office. You know how bad? Man, that Morbius is horrible. Right? Morbius is a bad movie. Really, really bad movie. Okay? Now, if you like this movie, fine. You're all nothing against you guys. You're allowed to like, right? Nothing against people that like this movie or not. I'm not going to bash them. I'm not going to insult them. I don't do that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with people that like. I like movies that people don't like. So yeah, so there's gonna be others that they're gonna like movies that most of the people don't like. It's everything is really subjective. Okay, and in the end, in things, not everybody is gonna like every single movie 100%. Even the ones that have low Rotten Tomato scores or poor to critic scores, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna love that movie or TV show, video game in general. All right, you're gonna find at least one person. So nothing is a guaranteed, because when as a fact, right? Nothing. Okay. No. Let's get on with this. Continue this stream. Now, please continue watching. Please chat. Please chat. All right. Let's talk. Chat. I want to talk to you guys. Chat. I want to respond to you too. I feel like I'm talking to a ghost here. Okay. All right. Let's get into this, guys. Let's go. All right. Let's continue.
Avoid the second one. But for me, I loved that movie. Joker 2 was a movie that was smart. It was layered. It had something to say. Almost every moment of that movie to me was layered with allegory.
No, it sounds like here he's defending it, right? He's not defending it, guys. He's not defending. Let you know he's not defending the movie. He did not like the movie. So it sounds like he's defending it here, but he's not. Let you know.
Was layered in commentary, was layered in observation, was layered in thoughts on the human experience. It was ultimately what I said in my Out of the Theater review. The first Joker movie was basically about a broken man in a broken world that doesn't know how to deal with that broken man. And how that broken man deals with that broken world. And it made so much social commentary, and it made so and on top of it, just gave us rich characters with a incredibly engaging story. And I loved that movie.
Yes.
Hence,
Joker 1 displayed basically the transformation from this guy Arthur, who's struggling to get by, who's struggling with society, struggling how Gotham is, struggling with society. This guy lives with his mother, has not a really good job, and it seems has issues, mental illness, and it seems this guy, as the movie is going, is becoming, his life is becoming more destructive, and it eventually leads him towards the side of madness, where instead of seeking help, he embraces this Joker persona, where society in Gotham creates the Joker, right? That's what Batman's about. How society in Gotham, how Gotham creates these villains and heroes too. Don't get me wrong. That's what's great about this first movie. How the first movie turned this a guy who's struggling to get by into this, eventually this crazy maniac, insane maniac, crazy maniac, murderous, psychopath, sociopath, whatever you want to call him, whatever you want to call the Joker. But you get my point. Okay. Okay. That's what I like about the first movie. And okay.
my excitement for Joker 2. Everything that was good about Joker 1 is completely absent for Joker 2.
Agreed. I agree. I agree with you, buddy. John Campea, I agree with you, man. I agree. I 100% agree with John Campea here. What made Joker 1 good? Joker 2 really, really botched it. Botched it. Most of it at least. Most of it.
This is a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It's not a disappointment. It's terrible.
No, I would say it's a disappointment. I disagree here. I would say it's a disappointment. I think people had high hopes for this movie and definitely did not live up to those expectations. So he may say it's not a disappointment. It's a disappointment.
This is a movie that, number one,
to me, I think it's a disappointment. But whatever, I don't know what you guys think in the chat because nobody's chatting.
had nothing to say. Like, I kept waiting for this movie to say something.
Yeah.
Like the
Say
first
something.
Joker did all throughout it, part of its brilliance. That movie ended, Joker 2 ends, and my first thought is this movie literally, there was no point. The movie is utterly pointless. There's no point to
The
this.
plot was, yeah, it was not the best plot. I agree. There was really no point to this movie. It said, "Oh, Billy and the Joker made $1 billion. Let's make a sequel." Okay.
This movie at all. It had nothing to say. There was no observation. There was no commentary. It ultimately, and I want to be careful because I don't want to give away any spoilers because I know there's a lot of you who still want to run out and see it.
So yeah, he's not gonna say any spoilers in this, guys. Obviously, because this is a non-spoiler review of his. But I'll spoil it because I already did a spoiler review that you don't know. But most of the stuff he's saying is actually true.
And hopefully a lot of you like it. I still want people to like movies even if I don't like them. So I'm going to try to make sure I don't give anything away here. But ultimately the movie is just, okay, Arthur, where we left him off at the end of that movie, after we understand his psychosis, after we understand everything he's gone through, after we understand what he did, the movie is just him. Okay, now we pick that up and he's in jail now.
Yeah, he's in Arkham.
And he's got to have a trial.
He's got to have a trial.
That's the movie.
And he doesn't fucking
I got
do anything
excited.
in this film. Like, I said this on last night's stream. The Joker doesn't do anything in this film. Nobody dies in this. Well, the court case at the end. I mean, with the courthouse, people do die when it explodes. But Joker doesn't. Arthur, Joker, whatever you want to call him, he doesn't kill anybody in this film. Nobody dies. The security guard, the Arkham guards don't die. The judge doesn't die. His attorney that was defending him doesn't die. Nobody dies in this film. The Joker doesn't do anything in this film. Doesn't kill anybody. Harley Quinn doesn't kill anybody either. He doesn't do Joker things in the film. Yeah. Oh, but you're gonna say this is a different version of Joker. Elseworld Joker. Yeah, but still, this is still Joker, man. Make him do stuff. Maybe people think I'm going on at 10. But Joker does absolutely nothing in this film. Doesn't kill anybody. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't even harm anybody. Not even breaking somebody's bones or punching somebody in the face. Doesn't fucking do anything in this film. Period. Nothing. You would expect somebody who's supposed to be the Joker is supposed to do shit. Despicable shit, right? Joker-like shit. Instead, he was an exact image of what society could do to a person, which is very Batman-like. But the problem is, this is fucking Joker, man. Yeah, they got that part right. Society could make somebody like this, but he still doesn't do anything as a Joker. Okay. Make him the fucking Joker. That's all I'm asking. Make him do Joker shit. That's what I was asking. Make him Joker do like shit. I expected when I went to this film watching this before I saw the film a couple days. I knew some stuff, obviously, but I still suspected him to do some Joker shit in the film. In this film, like, 'cause I didn't know everything. Okay, I expect him to do some Joker shit, but nope, doesn't do anything Joker like in this film. Okay, nothing. Like I said, once again, I'm all okay for an Elseworld version of the Joker, but at least let him do some what makes Joker great, like some Joker like shit. At least have him do some Joker shit. All right, that's all. That's it. I don't care if there's no Batman in this film, but still make him do what Joker would do. How he violently kill someone. How he make a dark a dark joke, and how he would laugh hysterically, right? And how he would act. Seriously, that's all. That's all. Just have something that like, the only time he acts a little bit like the Joker is him in the fucking courtroom when he's not fantasizing. Okay? Because most of the time, as he was fantasizing, he's fantasizing himself as a Joker. Those fantasy scenes, they pictures in his head, he was mostly the Joker then. But the only time he was the Joker was when he was basically defending himself in court. That's it. Oh my god. That's it. That's seriously like that's. It's whatever. Let's get in. Let's continue on, guys. Let's continue on. Yeah, exactly, George. That's what I was saying. Yeah, like yeah, the Bruce Wayne as Batman was more Dark Knight, right? And yeah, like third time I'll say it. I have no problem with the Elseworld of a Joker, but make him do Joker like shit, man. I was expecting in that courthouse, to fucking like shoot his fucking a fucking attorney right there. Shoot his fucking attorney. Like Deuce, like oh hey Blinder, what's up?
What's
You
up?
know, this is not a. I don't think this is gonna be a bastard stream with Campea. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean the movie's bad, right? So,
Yeah, but
I
here,
mean,
like,
yeah, we agree with him.
movie is like, yeah, we complained a lot yesterday, but like, I'm like, dude, make him. I'm like, again and again, make him do some Joker shit.
Right.
Like he doesn't do anything as a Joker.
No, yeah.
Like nobody dies. It's like I said this last night. I don't know if you guys caught it. Joker one was rated R, right? This is rated R, but I felt like it came to TV 14.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not like it is a hard R in some places, but not really.
Yeah, compared to the first one was more hard R.
Yeah, for sure.
It's it's just a and Campea. I mean, I'm gonna probably will agree with you, but this movie was a disappointment. Not don't say it was
Yeah.
not a disappointment. It was a
It
disappointment.
was 100% a disappointment.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Campea. Yeah, you know what? If I made this movie, me, he should. embrace the Joker from the start, or he's still struggling to become the Joker, and embrace it at the end, and end the Joker movies there. Have him embrace it at the end, and no more Joker movies.
Right.
Unless it's like, unless James Gunn or Matt Reeves decide, we're gonna make a Joker TV show. I'm like okay with that, if it fits, the
Yeah.
universe.
I mean, I feel like they won't, to be honest.
I agree. I don't think they will.
Yeah, at least not in the next like 10 years. I think they're gonna let this Joker movie kind of just, yeah,
But
let it be, let it go.
if they do, I would have confidence in Matt Reeves because the Penguin's hitting it right now. So I definitely think there would be. I think there'd be confidence in the Matt Reeves doing Joker if they do a TV show.
Right.
But I don't think so. We don't. If they want to do another, they want to do another TV show in the Batman universe. They didn't say what, but if it's another villain, Joker should not be that character. We already have the Joker. Technically, we already have, but do somebody else.
Right.
Do somebody else.
Yeah, I think they need to do somebody else.
Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So this is a.
When I heard that they were going to do the bold thing of trying to introduce musical elements into the movie, I thought that's crazy. That's
Oh, by the way, I did see this review.
Yeah. I was against the
So,
musical
yeah.
elements, and I think for the most part I was right with the musical.
Yeah, the musical elements, I'm not a big fan of musicals, but I think my problem with musicals is I just don't like the music choices,
Yeah.
right? I like a certain kind
different.
of genre, so. But this movie, I think its main problem is the fact that the music choices just weren't strong enough. They didn't stand out. I don't think they really fit the movie too. It just felt too samey.
Yeah. I can't believe it. As we were talking about that, I don't know what this talent I have. I don't know what you call it, but every time when we want to stop on Campea Grace, I always get the best
Yeah,
shots.
the best shot.
Like
Oh
I don't know.
man.
I don't know what the talent is. Like I don't do it on purpose. It's all accidental, Brian. It's all accidental.
Right.
And I applaud people
The
taking big
thumbnails, when I do
swings.
it for the
I
thumbnails, that's on purpose, but this is not.
do. I think we should encourage our filmmakers to take big swings. And so Todd Phillips decided, and I really like Todd Phillips, by the way.
I mean, like the courthouse, I would have done differently. I mean, the courthouse, you should have done shit. Like actually,
I don't mind like I don't think there's anything against the court scenes. I just feel like it was more like they were just regurgitating things we already knew.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very interesting. And for court dramas like to really work, you kind of have to have a very, you know, like you need to present a very convincing argument that, you know, the audience will believe. And it is like the court case is just building up suspense. And it's like a way of telling the story, right? And as you continue with the court case, you know, it unravels the evidence starts to pile up,
Yeah.
twists and turns and all different things. That's what makes court dramas interesting. But the thing is, this movie, it's like once you're told, like we knew every single little detail, right? It maybe we didn't know about Puddles or whatever his name is going to the police and being terrified, but we could have
Yeah.
just assumed that on our own, right? That's not really, you know,
Hmm.
important information, right? So I don't know, it just seems a little bit weird that they were so, I mean, they dedicated such a large amount of time to this court case and it
You know,
wasn't very interesting.
would have been a perfect plot for this movie.
What?
Him embracing the Joker for the whole movie and basically faking all that insane stuff. Because
Hmm.
Joker's we know the fake stuff, right? He's know the fake stuff.
Yeah.
And at the ending, sometimes admirers get, or stalkers who are willing to kill the people they admire, right? That guy who killed the Joker at the ending, maybe he killed the Joker because he admired him and wanted to be just like next Joker, a
Well,
different reason.
that guy who killed him at the ending killed him because in other words, he was like,
Disappointed.
"Hey, yeah, I'm disappointed in you, and now I'm gonna take over your mantle." But it just, in my opinion, it just feels
That would not have been my
like,
story. My story would have been him the Joker through the whole movie. and then that guy
Like if
kills
he
him.
really needed to die, I think it would have been. I think it should have been a lot more, uh, like a little bit more extravagant. I can't even say. Oh my God, I
Yeah,
can't even speak. But more, a
extravagance.
bigger, yeah, like grander kind of scope of his death to really like emphasize his downfall. Because him getting shanked, I just feel like it's very like it's anticlimactic,
It
right? It's
is.
not, yeah, like it's not. I don't have a problem with him dying. I just have a problem with the way it was done. And honestly, I feel like if I'm not sure if anyone's heard, but apparently there was three endings to this movie, and that they were going to change the ending depending on whether one of them leaked. And so the one where Harley Quinn kills the Joker got leaked.
That
And
should have
so
been
they
better.
had
That
to
would have been so
change
much
it.
better.
I think it would have been better, yeah. I think it would have been definitely still controversial, but I think
Hey,
it
silence.
would have been a lot, it would have made a lot more sense for the story.
Oh yeah, yeah. You disappointed me, Earth, and she just stabs him right there or something like,
Yeah, and takes his mantle because
or something
he
like that.
was the
Yeah,
sycophant. I mean,
yeah.
not this random guy who was in the background the entire time. We never got to really see his character.
I mean, it makes more sense if Ricky was the one that does it. The guy who's the Alfred Fleck, the Joker fan in the Arkham. You
Right,
know, it didn't make sense because he idolized Arthur, right?
right.
It made more sense for sure. Yeah, yeah. It was just. Oh, let you all know before we continue on. Francis Ford Francis Ford Coppola
Yeah, Francis Ford
retire.
Coppola.
Coppola retire because he just said this movie is a masterpiece. Basically,
Yeah.
retire. Sorry.
I mean, he's coming off of another bad movie as well, right? But I mean, no director's really going to shit on this movie, even if they believe it's bad, right?
I think Todd Phillips
Um,
believes it's bad. Honestly, I don't think he's. I don't think
I
he
don't
really
I
thinks
don't
it.
know. I really don't know. I would be curious to see years later what his opinion is, and because he already kind of said, "Hey, I'm not really into this comic book stuff."
Yeah,
Which I mean, yeah, I don't. I mean,
it
he
felt
made the
like
movie because he was like, "Oh, nowadays you can't make a movie without it being a comic book movie."
it's just.
So that's why there's people right now saying, "Oh, maybe Todd Phillips was embarrassed of Joker 1."
There are
But
some
to me
people
that
saying.
doesn't really make sense. I
I
feel
don't
like
think
if
it
that is
was.
the
No, no, no.
no, because I mean, in other words, then why did he make that first movie? Like if it really was reactionary and he's, upset at the fact that the critics didn't like the movie and they kind of put in this narrative that, oh, the movie's for incels and it's sympathizing people who are very dangerous individuals. But I mean that criticism was always stupid and never really made a lot of
This is
sense
true.
because this type of character has existed for quite some time, and that's why people brought up, hey, this is like King of Comedy. Hey, this is like Taxi Driver. Those movies are not recent movies by any means. Those are almost,
It's 30, 40,
for
50 years
40,
old.
50, 40 years old. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
right?
it's like Taxi
So
Driver's like 50. Isn't that 70s?
yeah, in the 70s, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, when I
I
was
think
young, man.
that's, I mean, yeah, and I feel like, that criticism, to be honest, I feel like filmmakers need to really, like, because there's some filmmakers who, anything the critics say, it's wrong and we just ignore them. I don't really agree with that. I think sometimes people do have valid criticisms, but at the same time, some people don't have valid criticisms and you just ignore them, right? They could let them scream at the fridge, right? Let them scream at the fridge because
Yeah,
whatever they're saying, it's not really valid, right? And if the movie is successful, I mean, who really cares? But at the end of the day, right? It's he if that was the case and he was ashamed of the movie, I think it was a mistake to even make this movie,
I'm
if that
glad.
was true.
I'm glad James Gunn didn't work on this movie.
No, yeah. I mean,
Todd
he's
Phillips
lucky he
confirmed that.
distanced
Yeah,
himself. Like,
and I don't think he really promoted that much. Anyway,
no, he didn't. He
he
didn't. I mean, the
he
movie
pro
doesn't even have the new DC logo on it. It has
he
the old
did
one.
yeah. So he did. He promoted the Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Does the
he's
Penguin
really.
have the new logo?
Um, I don't. I don't think. No, no. But he
Okay.
does promote the Penguin.
Right.
Doesn't does it have the new logo? I don't remember, guys. Do you remember? I'll remember. I'll try to find out tomorrow. But he does promote the Batman stuff.
Right.
But this is yeah, he did, and he didn't really work on the Batman stuff either. But he does promote it because yeah, yeah, like this, like this. Oh, because well, the thing is, it's because Joker. I'll say this right, Sam. In the comics, Joker does not have a split personality. He does not have disorder, but he does. He is
No.
considered insane, technically, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that
Split
whole thing
personality
too.
is a
But
yeah,
by the way, this is another thing I don't
yeah.
understand in the movie, and is, I mean, they
He
still could have had the argument of he was
he should have faked
insane.
it. He should have faked it.
No, well, he still could be insane.
Technically, yeah, but he could have
He
faked
still, but it could have been a different
type of
disorder that he had,
yeah.
and
He
that's the
could
thing
have faked
that
multiple
feels.
disorder. He could have
This
faked
is
it.
why I feel like something like there was I told you last night there was one reviewer who was like, oh, this movie is paralleling things that are currently happening in 2024, and it's like it's very uh
Yes.
relevant, but it but the thing is, it's like those things were always relevant, you know what I mean? Like there are elements or themes that are as old as time, and
Yeah,
this
yeah, it's true.
insanity plead, this is not people who are mentally ill and the justice system, that's not a new concept at all. That's
No,
been
no.
around as long as humans have been around, right? So it's just about our awareness to it. That's usually what changes the dynamics. I mean, and this is a movie that's supposed to take place in the 80s, and even though we were learning
It's
about mental illness, especially
and
with
it's.
these types of people,
Do
it
you
still
think it's?
wasn't as good as it is today,
Do you think it's a
right?
coincidence they went with that, knowing that Harvey Dent was in the movie? Like,
Yeah, and Harvey Dent, it's just he's just a throwaway character,
yeah, yeah, like because he's the guy with split personality. If you know Batman,
right?
like
I
Joker.
don't know why they did even
If
brought up
Joker
that whole
did split
split
personality,
personality.
if did split personality, he's faking it. Joker's always been because we know in the
Well, he
comics
never,
is
he never. I mean, I don't know why. I truly think they messed up with that whole split personality because it doesn't. First off, it's not a very convincing
if
argument for what we know
do
of
you
Joker or this version of
do you remember the
Joker.
Arkham? Do you remember the Arkham games? You know they did interview tapes. They had the Joker. The doctor says,
Yeah,
we never truly what we were able to try to diagnose you with, like what you truly have with the Joker.
right,
They couldn't figure out what he had with all the other inmates. Sure, but the Joker, we don't know because there's some people that actually believe that if you read on forums, that the Joker is not insane, that he actually knows what he's doing. Like,
right.
right? Like the Joker could fake the split personality thing because Joker's been able to do that. I mean, the Dark Knight, when he comes back, he's faking remorse, he's faking all that shit. Like Joker's been known. Remember, Joker's been known to be disguises at times as right. He used to disguise himself. Like Joker's been known. Like, that's the thing is that's my thing. He should have been faking insanity the whole time,
Hmm.
and because I wanted to embrace the Joker the whole movie. That's what I wanted.
Right.
Okay, I, and I think that's what we thought when we heard the Joker too. I think we thought he was gonna be the Joker for the whole movie, right?
Well, I mean, that's the assumption.
Yeah,
That's the assumption that, oh, this is a movie about the Joker, and we're gonna see him in his full glory. And I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It I don't know. I don't know.
It's like Toffos is trying to teach us a message here instead of focusing on the Joker. Like I know movies are supposed to teach us messages and stuff like that, but I think they completely missed the mark on this Joker in this movie
Yeah,
because
I think they just didn't, they didn't really grasp what they wanted to say, and
yeah,
really have something that felt like it was meaningful or it added something to what was already established. Because and this is why I feel like some people, at the end of the day, this is a sequel.
Hmm.
You know, this movie didn't
It's a sequel.
necessarily need to be made because, yeah, it's a sequel, right? The
Yeah, yeah.
story of the first movie is already told, and if you're going to come back, it's usually to add on or to, tell a new story. And I don't know. It just this movie just feels. I would say it's one of the worst sequels probably ever made.
I mean, it's tracking to make as much as Morbius. You know how bad that is.
Yeah, this is like really bad. I'm oh yeah, we didn't even get into this,
The
but
thing is, Morbius is a bad
this
movie.
let's put this into perspective for the people watching. Last night the cinema scores came out, and this
It's
is
like a
the
D.
worst comic book movie
Yeah.
ever,
Here's the thing.
right?
Here's the thing,
This
guys.
is hold on. This is actually really important, right?
It
A
is.
D cinema score. That is lower than Megalopolis, Madam Web, Borderlands. It's practically one of the worst movies of this year. And the thing is, it's not
It's.
poorly
I think
made like
it's.
Madam Web. It's
I
not.
say it's the biggest disappointment movie of the year.
I would just say it's a bad movie in general.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's a.
just one of the worst movies this year, not because of it's generic like Borderlands, or it's poorly made like Madam Web, or it's so up its
It
ass
wasn't
like
intention to be. It wasn't intended to be generic at all either.
no, yeah. It's by all means, when you look at it, you think this is a competent movie, but it's not. It's
I
not.
didn't. I did not. I mean, that's what I would have done, like a Bonnie and Clyde thing. But yeah, yeah, that's why I'm not in the industry because I would have done a Bonnie and Clyde thing.
Right.
Something more like that. I mean, something more like that. I would have him be the Joker for the whole film. That's it. Like I want him to be the Joker for the whole film. We thought we were gonna get that. It was implied in the last movie that he fully embraced the Joker
Hmm.
character. I mean, like, look, only two. Like all the villains have their real name and their villain name, right? Like,
Hmm.
right? All right. Like, uh, see what Camper has to say.
Doesn't have a great track record with sequels. Hangover 2. Anyway, but
Yeah.
I really appreciate that he was going to try to take a big swing with it. Why not? But here's the problem, and I mentioned this in my out of theater review as well. When you look at good musicals, let's say The Greatest Showman, when a song comes into the movie, the songs tell the story. Like if you try to go in to watch The Greatest Showman, but
I
take the
kind of agree with him. I don't think the songs really told the story. Well, some of
No, it
them did.
didn't. It
One did. One did. When he thought the only time I think it told the story is when his attorney told the truth about Harley, and then you see his fantasize. You see her shoot Joker, like like betrayal.
Mhm.
I think that's the only time. And at the ending, exact same thing. Exact same thing. Fantasy, the betrayal. I think it's the only time that the songs. Well, I don't think they sang in that part. I think it was. I don't know, but I think that's the only time that it worked. The songs. What were we gonna say?
No, I don't. I mean, like I mentioned last night, I can't. The songs were so forgettable that, in all honesty,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like they just kind of. I mean, there was a scene I was looking at on Threads, and I was not sleeping. I was not sleeping, and I did not remember the scene at all. This is like the first time where I'm like, wow, this movie was just so forgettable for me. Like it was just like you're like the scenes, my eyes were glazed over. Like that's
Well,
why it's like when I really was.
you're about to sleep. I'll fall asleep.
I no, I wasn't. I was bored, but I wasn't falling asleep. I
Oh,
was watching the movie like a regular movie, but it just like my brain was not registering what was going on because it was just so it's like it's almost like there's so much stuff happening, but it's not relevant. Like nothing important going on. And so it's like I'm just like watching the movie almost like brainless.
Let's go next.
And that was like the first time I've ever experienced this in a movie. And I've seen tons of bad movies. I've seen tons of boring movies, but like this was a
Yes.
different kind of level. And that's why I'm not surprised that people don't like this movie. I feel like
And you know what's
some people want to discredit like the masses, but like at the end of the day, it's like if there's a good amount of people saying a movie's bad, I mean that's not a good thing.
you know what's a good point here? What happens that would laugh he says he does, like as a like in the first movie, he always does that laugh, like he doesn't do that laugh in this film at all.
No.
Like, did he completely forget that? Like, is he? And the thing is, yeah, and the meds. The thing is, yeah, they put him back on meds, right? But
Hmm.
he didn't really need the meds because the meds were because he didn't have the persona.
No,
Like,
and I mean, what were the meds even really doing?
no, he just became like he's right there. Like Sam is right. Arthur Foley embraced the Joker. We've been saying that at the end of the first movie. All it has to have gone. Yeah, it creates the Joker exactly.
Hmm.
Society in the first movie is the society of bad things made him a Joker, which is kind of true to the Batman lore, right? That's how Gotham is. Sometimes it could create the villains, it could create the good guys too. So in the first movie, he created Arthur as a Joker. It makes that's what I like about the first movie, and then but the second movie, like we said so many times, he's not the freaking Joker.
Hmm.
Not the freaking Joker. He doesn't do anything Joker like. Really, you could have just called him Bozo. This movie should have called Bozo.
Yeah, you
But
could have
Bozo,
called this any other. I mean, but that's the it. Like, I mean, the I don't even know what to say anymore.
I
This
hope
this
this has
movie this movie every time. I mean, I'm playing a game too, so my brain is kind of like
yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to
fine.
figure out this puzzle, so it's kind of messing me up. But
Which game is this?
this Plucky Squire, to be
Oh,
honest, I wanted to like this game, but like I'm not super. I'm only really at the beginning of the game, but like I've been struggling to even play it. Like just because it's like so many tutorials, it's like oh my
I hate
god.
games with so many tutorials. Like fucking
Yeah,
stop it. It's annoying.
but I just because I've been looking at because like there's people on threads and they're like, what did you guys expect that it's a musical? Without realizing that like most people's criticism of the movie is not that it's a musical.
It's
It's
dark
just because it's a
musicals.
bad movie.
Yeah,
It's just a very bland, forgettable, disappointing movie. And I hate when the one thing I don't like, and I always try not to do this because sometimes you forget. Like sometimes I want to rag on a take or opinion or whatever John Campea or Grace Randolph says. But in all honesty, like I do hate it when people discredit other people's opinions, right? Because it just drives me nuts, right? Because it's like, well,
Campea
no,
does do that.
yeah, because it's like, okay, yeah, like there's a mass amount of people who don't like the movie. Yeah, there's sometimes where the audiences and the critics they get it wrong, and years later, it becomes a classic movie. But the thing is, the Joker is not that kind of movie. No one is gonna be like, I'm sure there's gonna be people who come back and say, oh, they got it wrong. But in all honesty, there's a very strong argument to be made that this movie doesn't offer anything really interesting. It doesn't have anything of value to say. And there's all these people going, you don't understand. And I hate when people do that because it tries to discredit people's intelligence and what they actually viewed. The movie, I clearly understood what the movie was trying to say. And
Yeah,
to be honest, I think it's first, the premise of it, I don't even agree with to begin with. And so that's where it already lost me. This whole idea of whether Arthur is the Joker or not, I think it's a dumb premise. Because, first off, one, the conclusion that is reached is obvious.
yeah.
Arthur is the Joker. He's the one who committed all these acts. But for him to now go, I'm not going to
And he
embrace the
laughs
Joker.
about it, and he's a showman about it. Like
Yeah,
Joker.
it just feels like a massive disconnect
It's like
the conclusion that he comes to.
it's like Todd Phillips directed the first movie, but never watched this movie. The first movie. It's like
Yeah.
it's like okay, you know, like what? Oh, I know what he's trying to do here. It's just that I'm just hoping he didn't ruin the Joker brand with this movie. I mean,
I mean, I don't think the Joker is always going to be a relevant character. I just think this movie itself is, I mean, this movie's tracking extremely low. It's got very bad word of mouth. And honestly, I think as time goes on, I feel like more people will come out and say that this is the worst comic book movie ever. Not because it's poorly made or anything like that. This is like
mhm.
a very
Hey
rare
TJ,
movie where things are it's well directed, you know, it looks very pretty. The performances are decent, but this script is worthless. It's a worthless script. You know, no one in their right mind would greenlight the script, and now there's rumors saying that Warner Brothers didn't even do test screenings,
they didn't. No, that's
which
not
makes
rumors. That's
sense.
confirmed. That's confirmed.
Well, yeah, well
That's,
then that makes total sense because if they test screen the movie, they would
maybe.
know that
Yeah,
audiences would hate the movie.
maybe pass.
And
Yeah, I
and
hope.
this is why I was saying last night where it's like people were groaning at this idea of, oh, you know, art is dead and they have to rely on fans to make movies. But my point was, yeah, I think
Good.
the creators should make their own vision, but the problem is you're dealing in an industry where they spend millions, if not billions of dollars to make these movies. It's a financial risk. So how in the world can people really sit there and say, well, I'm not going to listen to the audience, even though they're the ones paying for the movie? It's a fucking business. And
Mhm.
I know that, you know, like I do care about the art of this stuff, but I really think in the movie industry, depending on how much money is really into the movie, I, I, I think it's 50-50. It's 50 art, 50 business. And you have to be a very good business person and a creative person to really even make a good movie.
Yes.
Right? Because if you really, and that really comes down to your creativity, but because so many people looked at that, what was going on, and was like, they scoffed at it. And I'm like, well, to be honest, then if you don't want that, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But like, no one can complain about when movies flop and bomb then,
Mhm.
right? Because then people make up their minds and go, well, I'm not going to spend money to watch this. And that's why I feel like some people kind of like, it's like totally lost on them that this is a business. It is 100% a business, and that's how it's been
Yeah.
for the last, I mean, cinema's been around for 100 plus years now. So that's how it's gonna be
Yeah.
for as long as it keeps
Well, it
going.
has to be. I mean,
Yeah, and the Joker,
everything's a business.
Warner
Everything is a
Brothers,
business.
David Zaslav, right? Like this movie also confirms that he's a fucking moron, right? I
I
don't care.
agree.
I don't care. I'm not a movie executive, but he's a fucking moron, right? Because you spent $200 million on this movie, thinking that you're gonna get back, you know, way more because of the first movie, but you didn't test the movie. You didn't bother to make sure that it was, you know, a crowd pleaser, that people would actually pay money to see this. And then now you're gonna see all these like sycophants and these people on Twitter and threads, like the minority of people who are like, oh, if only people weren't so stupid and they actually
Oh,
like the
please.
movie. Like, please, like when I hear people like that,
What?
like you guys,
What?
like
The
go
Joker
go
cult's
fucking
gonna start.
go fucking go fucking scream that in the sky, to the
The Joker
sky. Go talk
cult.
to your fridge and tell them that. You
The
know what I
Joker
mean? Pound
cult.
fucking sand, because it's such a worthless take.
The
It's
Joker
absolutely
cult.
worthless.
Let me search
People
the Joker.
people need should pay money to see a movie they don't like, sit there and pretend they like it. Or is that where we are
They
now?
had. I wonder how much the people got paid at the film festival for standing up for 11 minutes. Come on.
Well, they just did it out of courtesy. But I bet there's people that it's not like the movie got some stellar reviews. It was at a 60, and it was
It
probably at a
went
60
down
because,
to the 30s.
yeah, it went down. Yeah, once the movie came out and everybody saw it, right? The critics
Yeah.
were able to watch it. Everybody, not just top critics or like critics that were at the
And
festival.
it's very rarely you see on Rotten Tomatoes where the critics and the audience scores are relatively the same area.
Yeah,
Very rarely.
I'm not like, I'm not saying people can't like this movie. You can
Yeah, I
like
mean every
whatever.
movie's
I don't
subjective.
care.
Yeah.
But I just think like the hubris of some of these people I'm seeing on threads where it's like every time I refresh the page, I'm seeing some fucking idiot tell
The
me
Joker
how
cult.
you're supposed to like the Joker and you don't understand. It's like, no, I like can we stop doing this? Like it's the whole argument of like you got to turn off your brain to enjoy the movie. Like some people just want to fucking enjoy I
Well,
don't
you
know,
gotta
they
turn off a brain
let them
enjoying the
enjoy
movie.
a Transformers movie, right?
That movie was not meant for turning off your brain.
Well, no, this is more of a intellectual, deep character
Yeah.
study, right? So yeah, you can't turn off your brain. But I hate that argument, right? I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of that. It just sounds,
Here's
it's
the
like
thing. Here's the thing.
patronizing. It's fucking stupid.
Most movies these days are not turn off your brain stuff anymore.
Well, most of the movies I feel like are they don't really have much to say. They're not
Yeah.
very
Like
interesting. They're not a reflection of current day society. Why? Why is that? Well,
this
because
is good
this is
point,
a
Sam.
massive gamble.
Good point, Sam.
They're gambling on these movies when they put them out.
So what the thing is, oh, for movie side, I agree. They are winning with the Penguin, and they are winning with what they did win Peacemaker. We'll see with Creature Commandos. On the TV side of things, they're doing fine.
Yeah.
DC's on the TV side of things,
I
they're
mean,
doing
this doesn't
fine.
even really have to do with DC.
Yeah. Well,
Because
technically,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
movie was successful and it's like that didn't change anything.
They had no faith in that movie either. Like
Yeah.
they really
So I
didn't.
mean, this is a standalone movie, and
Should have
in
been.
all honesty, yeah, it's not. It's not going to affect the broader DC. I don't even really want to refer to it as a DC movie. It doesn't make sense to. It just has the Joker and Harley and
And
some
Two
Batman
Face.
references, but that's it.
They don't even mention Gotham in this film that much either. Oh,
Well, they do occasionally, obviously, but
yeah.
like, yeah, like it's not a superhero movie, but it's still attached to, it obviously has that name.
That's the
But
brand, yeah. Everybody knows Joker's a Batman villain, and like like the Joker's the one character, the one villain. I mean, like Batman's the one franchise in DC that most people know whether you're not a comic book fan or not. Him and Superman, and they all know about the Joker. Like the Joker transcends comic books
right.
as a villain,
Yeah,
right?
he's an established character, a very well-known character.
Yeah, yeah, and more than the Marvel guys, more than the Marvel villains,
But
obviously.
I want to see because this is just going to keep piling on, and I feel like that this is either going to be either either someone because like to be honest, like the audience like there's no type of movie like this that is coming out in the next like 3 years, so it doesn't even really matter that much. And DC's more depending on Batman and Superman anyway.
Oh, they might,
But
they
with
might,
this but with
they
this
might
movie,
do,
like I want to see
they might
who is
do
gonna come
Mad
out
Max. No, Furiosa, Furiosa. They might
and
do.
discredit the movie, right?
They might
Because
campaign. I'm just saying this, Blaine. They might campaign for Furiosa. That's also Warner Brothers, right?
yeah, this movie, I don't know if they'll campaign
No,
for awards,
this
obviously.
Joker. I don't think they're going to campaign for Joker too. Why would they?
Yeah, they wouldn't. But okay, what I wanted to say is like I want to
Campaign for
see
Razzie.
is someone going to come out and turn on the movie? Like is someone from the movie going to turn on this movie?
I feel you
Right?
know what
Like
I think you do.
is Joaquin Phoenix
That's what I
or
was going to
Lady
say.
Gaga, are they going to come out and say, "Hey, I mean, to the person who really should do that is Lady Gaga, in my opinion. I think she's the one who should come out and say, you know, there was a lot more filmed. It's not my
There was
fault,
for
right?
her. I
We
know that
know
for a
it's not
fact.
her fault, but like, there, someone needs to come out and
The
say,
stuff we saw
hey,
some of the trailers were not even in the film.
no, yeah, they weren't even in the film,
I hate when you
which
do
means that
that.
there's stuff that they obviously
And,
cut out.
and that should be illegal. I'm sorry. If you can put stuff in your trailers, that has to be in the film. I'm sorry. That should be a law, a rule. I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah,
Did
I feel like they
did they
should do that.
didn't people sue which one that Beatles movie because of something like that? They had Anna Daenerys who was supposed to
Uh,
be in it advertised, but she wasn't in it. I don't know. Did they try to do that with the Infinity War? Was it with the Hawk?
Yeah, Infinity War got some like
It's like here's the
yeah.
thing. studios, you're not gonna listen to me, but if you happen to list somebody from somebody high up in the studios, one of the big studios, if you're gonna show something from the movie in your trailer, you have to show it in the film.
Right. I mean, it's people. I mean, yeah, that whole like them dancing down. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
I
that
wanted
was
to see
also a
that.
musical number, right?
I wanted to see that.
Because I don't think that was part of the actual narrative story
I still wanted to see it though.
and that was happening in reality. Yeah.
Oh, of course, no. That was definitely fantasy. Like his in his mind. Yeah, the final show of the trailers in the film. Yeah, when they were going down the courthouse scene together, or the steps, all that. Like, oh my god, I wanted to see that. I it's I don't like when they do that in studios. Let's see what else to say. We're only like 4 minutes in.
The musical numbers out, you're not going to understand the movie because the songs, the musical elements, tell the story.
But
Not
you could
Joker
cut
2.
them out of yeah, you could cut them out in the
The
movie.
Yeah, that was to say. Yeah. He's right. Yeah, you're right, Blind. He's right. The songs didn't really tell
No, they
anything.
didn't say anything. They didn't progress the story. They weren't additional scenes, right? So it's like, yeah, there. I mean, you could technically have a. It would be weird to watch because it would jump around a little too much, but and I only say that because the way that they transition into musicals, it's like look at the first one where Joker is singing. It sort of it just bleeds into the like because he's staring at the TV and then he starts singing. So it's kind of like part of the scene. You know what I mean? Like it's part of
Uh,
the scene where with the normal dialogue and then it
yeah.
turns into a musical and then it
So
so there's a lot of stuff like that. But then there's other ones where it's just like the scene would cut and end and then it would actually start a musical. And you would see like Joker as a silhouette and then you see all the sets and then you know okay,
I
there's going to be a musical, right? There's going to be a music number.
yeah. I don't know TJ. I don't know TJ. I can't think of any other movie where Joaquin acted like a Joker before. Um, this is true, Sam. Because this movie was long. This movie was 2 hours 18 minutes. So I
Yeah.
guess it'd be like people are rooting for DC Studios. Yes, that's true.
musical numbers pointlessly just interrupt the story.
Oh,
Like there was not
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was saying. The musical numbers just ruin ruin the story.
Yeah.
It ruined like when you think you're about to say something important, and when the dialogue, when Joker is talking to Harley or something or whatever, something the dialogue, all of a sudden gets to the important part, it turns into a musical. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're just like get on with it. Because the musicals themselves don't have any relevant information.
This movie, The Dark Knight and Wilker Folie, A Dud Is Rise is actually a solid film with a well-rounded story, an emotionally realized scale, and compelling villain in Tom Hardy's Bane. FD. The thing is, I did not like The Dark Knight Rises. I thought they could do Bane better. I'm curious what the DCU's Bane is going to be. Well, not going to be Batista. Um, let's see what this is.
a single musical number in this movie that needed to be there. Every time a musical number started, it was okay. We're telling the story now. Everybody, wait, just hold up. You know, like a crossing guard when you're trying to cross the street, crossing guard. So just hold up a second. Hold up a second. Just wait there. We're going to stop the flow of the story so we can do this.
Actually, the better
Mm.
movie, the better title for this movie would have been The Dark Knight Returns. Just saying.
Mm.
Because he doesn't really. I mean, I know why they call it Rises, but he actually returns after 8 years. I know people are going to be like, but it's nothing like the Dark Knight Returns story. But look, he comes back after 8 years. Come on, like it's a better title for that movie. Yeah, I'm more curious about the Joker and the Batman because he seems like damaged, like really
Mm.
damaged, right? Damaged. because we don't really see his fully face in the light. We kind of gotta see the glimpse of what he looks like, right? 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 Like it seems like he has the scars too, or like a disgusting teeth and the scars, right?
Who are
Because
you talking
Joker's
about?
the Barry Kogan's Joker.
Oh yeah, we didn't really. Yeah, we saw like he has these like acid kind of looking scars, and he
Yeah,
looks quite deformed, which is yeah very different.
which I think for the Matt Reeves universe fits, because like if you look at Matt Reeves' universe, yeah, it's grounded like the Dark Knight, but I think it's a lot more darker than the Dark Knight
Hmm.
saga because well, first it was rated R, well the pink one, and I think it's gonna do a lot more shit. And that Joker, I think, look, the people love the Heath Ledger's Joker, but that's Joker that I think in the Batman is a lot more sicker than the Heath Ledger Joker.
Mm.
The way the way he talks to Joker that deleted the Batman that deleted scene, that feels like how Joker would
Yeah,
talk.
he looks. Yeah, he's more. I mean, yeah, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we don't we'll have to see what his Joker really is about, but he seems more
And
horror kind of focused.
and
That's the vibe that I got.
the actor at the TIFF, at Toronto, what's the Toronto TIFF? He was at TIFF, right? They
Mm.
asked him about that because people are interested because the Penguin's coming up, right? So and there's part of the same universe. He couldn't
Right,
really say anything. That means like for the Batman too, he couldn't really say anything. So I assume
right.
he might be in the Batman too.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be in the
Yeah.
Batman too. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Riddler's in the Batman part two as well.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Based on the ending, Riddler's not done.
Yeah.
Based on the ending, I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of like a Sinister Six version. A Sinister Six, a group of villains. I wouldn't be surprised if they do
Mhm.
something in the Batman universe.
Well, I think there's gonna be reoccurring villains that he goes and interrogates
Yeah.
and talks with and gets like so they could build up that because that's something we never really got to see in a Batman movie is
Yeah.
Batman always goes to Arkham Asylum and he's always interviewing his rogues gallery and talking to them and
Mm-hmm.
yeah it's I mean we
Well, he
never
did
really
that.
get to
He did
see
that in
that
the
in live
deleted
action.
scene, right? He did that in the deleted scene
Yeah,
with Batman with
yeah, he
the
was
Joker.
was with
Yeah,
the Joker. Yeah.
yeah. I wonder if Sophia Falcone knew the Joker.
Musical number that doesn't add anything to the movie. All the musical numbers were pointless. They
Yeah, they
didn't have to.
were.
Like I said, in Greatest Showman, you take all the musical numbers out, you won't understand that movie at all because the musical.
I don't know. Best movie from the 2020s, comic book rise. Well, it's definitely. Oh, it's Guardians is up there.
Yeah, Guardians.
Marvel has to take a
I mean,
step
it's a
back. I
tough
mean,
one. Spider Verse, maybe Suicide Squad,
yeah,
um,
the Batman.
yeah, the Batman.
I don't know who else.
Yeah, it's that one's a tough one. I mean, it's still too early to
Numbers
right.
tell the
We're
story.
only 4 years out.
Yeah, I do think. Well, I'm not. We're not really hyped for 2025, at least for the first two Marvel movies,
Right.
like me and you. Maybe Fantastic Four, but yeah, James Gunn's Suicide Squad was great.
In Joker 2, you take all the musical numbers out, you probably have a better film.
I
You
don't know
certainly don't
necessarily
miss any.
better. Maybe a little bit.
For
Maybe a
Joker,
little. No, yeah, for two.
I mean, if you took out the musicals, it wouldn't. It's not like it would vastly improve the movie. Like in all honesty, the musicals are bad because they're forgettable. I mean, in my opinion, they're forgettable, not very interesting. But uh, there's so many other problems with the movie itself. that I mean the musicals could be in there regardless, and I still feel like it would be a boring movie. It just would
Mm-hmm.
be quicker. That's really it.
Dark Knight Rises is better than Guardians. I like Guardians 3 better than Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises is better than Guardians.
Yeah, that's his opinion. I, I like. I know you. Guardians is your favorite Marvel movie, right? Well, it's your
Yeah.
favorite trilogy, your three. Yeah, James Gunn's Suicide. I like that movie of this decade. Yeah, Thunderbolts is nothing against Suicide Squad, guys. Just so you know. Don't listen to Grace Randolph.
Anything. There's nothing important revealed. No heart of the characters shown in the musical numbers
Yeah,
that aren't already shown through the dialogue. It's just gone. And one of the things that I really love in characters in movies is when they evolve in the movies. It's important to me that a character, when you get to the end of the movie, is a different person in one way or another than what they were at the beginning of the film, right? They go through their own journey.
yeah, but okay. But that should not be the Joker. If he embraced the Joker thing in the
Mhm.
first movie, why's there next to evolve into it in the second movie? He should just be the Joker in the second movie. But for but it should be a different plot line, him as embracing his Joker side. Right?
Mhm.
Like how do you think about the Joker? How do you really evolve the Joker? If he is ready, he is the Joker. You can't.
Yeah, you can't. What this is why I say the idea
Batman
of
you
his
can, but you
downfall.
can't with the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea of his downfall is fine. That's fine. That makes sense. The problem is it's the execution.
And the
You
public
know,
did not want, but the thing is, people did not want to see his downfall either. People wanted to see the Joker. They did not want to see Arthur. We wanted to see, like you could yes, you like Campea, you're right, but with this, people did not want to see kind of him evolving.
I mean it's hard. I mean unless someone has an interesting angle, it is hard to evolve someone who is
Yeah,
they've reached their peak. I mean what more can you really
it's
do?
not. It's not like Batman where you could evolve the character. Where yeah, in the Batman, the first movie, the Batman, yes, he was reclusive, right, a loner kind of. He did not want to get close to people, but as time went on, he was listening to people's problems, became more hopeful, became more open. That's evolving. There, it could evolve with characters
Right.
about, and some villains you could evolve. If you're turning villains into pretend, like the dude the penguin, you could do that. So there's some villains you could do it, but the Joker is kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's complicated to do with the Joker
Yeah,
because
The Joker is I mean yeah, they really needed to I mean, I don't know how long it took them to write the script, but they really needed to nail down
yeah,
how were they going to, with it should have been a tragic story because he was already a sympathetic character, and so to kind of just give him this like really, terrible ending, it's like, yeah, that makes sense for a villain, but this is a
thank you,
different
TJ.
kind of villain.
Thank you, TJ.
This villain requires a lot more care of how you I guess kill him off. That's why I say if you're going to kill him off, it has to be in this almost movie-like fashion where it's not just this very nihilistic and bleak
Hmm.
outlook because it doesn't fit the story. The story is realistic and grounded, but it kind of isn't if you really think about it. Because it's not a realistic tale because no one who would ever be the Joker in real life would get this ending where it's like a rise up, right? Where oh my
Yeah,
God, now everybody is seeing and embracing what he's doing and now they're joining his movement. Like that would never happen. So it's still a movie, and I feel
oh,
like the biggest problem too with movies, a modern day problem is, and this applies to video games too. This idea of realism.
that would be a great
Everything's got to
ending
be
to the movie.
fucking real and
You know
grounded
what would have
and
been great if he did embrace his followers at the end of this movie, and at the end of this movie, he stands with a bunch of fun of his followers, doing gloating, not gloating, but like not bowing, but like you know what I mean, like in front of his followers and laughs with them. The end that would have been great. That could have been
right.
something like that, and then that's done the Joker. You know what? And then he could right? They could have done something like that, but instead, oh,
Yeah,
let's
they
kill
could
them
have done
all.
something.
They
Yeah,
just
I think
got
the followers angle they should have played into more. Cause like we didn't know who was gonna, you know, that they were gonna bomb the court. That kind of was like, okay, this was. I mean,
yeah.
that was actually surprising. But
And,
yeah, just
and I for one nothing to do with them. Like
right.
I don't know if Arf. I don't know what got. I don't know how what changed Arthur's mind because he was slowly getting that Joker persona back, right? He was doing it as when he was defending himself. He was kind of doing he was a Joker defending himself.
Hmm.
But I think the problem is he didn't fully because we know he fully embraced the Joker, but in the end of but it feels like in this movie he did not really fully embrace the Joker because he still felt a little bit of empathy, remorse. He still considers that guy as a
But why would he feel why would he feel remorse though? That's the part that just seems really bizarre.
and it came to that guy. It came to that guy, right? To the puddles. Yeah. Uh, like I
And
thought
and that whole thing with Puddles too, like I mean, yeah, he murdered these guys, right? And he murdered that guy in front of him, and yeah, it was
yeah.
traumatizing. But like in all honesty, like that scene, like to me, it was just a boring scene.
Look at these
It was a
puddles.
boring scene because it's like the guy is it's like I get it, like the guy would be traumatized. I'm not like some freaking monster, but it's like what was the point of us telling us this? Because like we could have already figured that on our own that this guy was traumatized and like I mean you know what I mean, like and his life is now shit because of it. And Joker was like, because he has this response like it's almost like, oh, I'm shocked that like I didn't make your life better, and you're kind of like, why would even Arthur even assume that? Like
Yeah.
I don't even understand his reasoning of why he would think his life would be better based because he killed the boss. It's like, I mean, he killed the boss because the boss was a fucking bully, right? And he was gonna get what he deserved, right? It's
It
not
wasn't his
really
boss.
about,
It wasn't his boss. It was
yeah.
his friend.
Oh,
It
his
was
buddy, the big guy,
the
right?
buddy
Okay, I
who
thought it
gave
was
him
the
the
boss. I
gun.
forgot.
Remember, he gave him the gun to protect himself, and
Right,
that's when that Joker accidentally the gun accidentally dropped while he was doing a kids party.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's talking about the moment where the guy kills him in the apartment. No.
Yeah. 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 It's the same
Yeah.
guy he
So
killed him.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
kills the guy in the apartment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That scene to me, it just felt like, okay, we're supposed to be like see how Joker thought he was doing right, but what I don't understand is like no one really thought Joker was doing anything right. Like
No.
no one thought he's like this like moral person, and he was like, I don't know, he's not like the freaking Punisher. Like no one was thinking that. It was more like these guys are absolute assholes. They beat up this fucking guy to the point where now he snaps. It's not like a story about morals or
Oh,
ethics
you
or
mean the
like,
woman in the train?
yeah, like when he kills the guy on the train. Like this is a story
Yeah.
about a guy who in all honesty is like society has beaten up on him, and he has
He
nothing
chased the
left
guy
and he
too.
snaps.
He chased the guy too when the guy was running away. He chased him too just
Yeah,
to shoot him down.
yeah, but like this, like to examine this, like, oh, like now Arthur feels bad. Like to me that was the part where I'm like, what? I don't understand why. Okay, why all of a sudden does Arthur have some type of empathy or realize, oh shit,
I don't
like
understand.
what I was doing is wrong?
Yeah, it didn't really explain. Like,
Or he's shocked. I mean, he didn't really have like remorse during that scene, but he was more like, oh, what do you mean?
I
I thought we were
what
buddies. I
what
thought I
I thought what
helped you.
happened was when he pissed off the security guards. I thought the security guards when they did all that when they came back from the trial, the security guards they did all shit. They got pissed at him, right? And they did what they did. They raped him. They raped him and stuff. I thought they probably told him this is going to be what's going to happen for you now on if you keep talking shit about us. So you better
Yeah.
admit to this shit. You better admit to this.
Well,
shit.
that scene is also like interesting too,
Yeah.
because like I seen some people say,
Thank
oh,
you, TJ.
because I
Yep,
mean
you're right.
he gets raped in that scene, right,
Yeah.
by the guards, and people are saying, oh, it was like they raped the Joker out of him. They told him like to shut up and it's like no, but it's right though.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
happens. It's like after that moment, his whole demeanor changes,
Yeah. He's
and
traumatized from that.
he's traumatized, and then he pretty much like comes to this realization that he's not the Joker. But the thing, and the part is, it's like, why now though? That's what I'm not really understanding that part of the movie. Why is he now being like, oh, I feel sympathetic, or now I feel
Anything,
beaten
guys.
down after all the stuff that happened in the
Yeah.
original movie? The original movie was him being like, hey, I'm now going to take it up on myself to prove to these people that I'm not this like skinny, guy who's been through the crappy mental health system, and I'm not I'm not a mommy's boy, and like I want to prove to people that I'm not this worthless piece of crap. So it's like all of a sudden now he's having these like doubts about
Hmm.
things. And that's why I say if he had doubts about these things because he was either investigating or putting these things together, or he was listening to Harley Quinn and the things that she's saying are not matching up,
Hmm.
or he tries to be the Joker and then it's like, he tries to be the
Yes,
Joker and then
TJ. Yeah.
something happens to him and it's like reinforcing. But like to have that one scene where they rape him and then that's it and that's his moment of being like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm not the Joker. I don't know. I'm rambling, but like I just like that's my problem
With
with the
group
movie.
therapy.
Group therapy, what? I'm not looking at the chat. My phone's
Honestly,
on
I
across
don't
the room.
know. So yeah. Well, TJ, a corrupt society is the point of the first movie. That's true.
Yeah,
That's very Gotham-like.
that's why he's the Joker.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens in the comics.
So
Corrupt.
why does he fold now to a corrupt society? That's what I want to know. Why does he fold?
Yeah. This is all true. Let's see what Campea.
And characters go through their own transformations, being affected by the journey. Arthur Fleck was the same guy at the end of the film that he was at the beginning. We
Yeah,
didn't
he
learn
was.
anything
Because
more.
that's because seriously,
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
was.
how he was. I don't know how the Joker could continue on. Like what's
Yeah, that's why I say that the movie is pointless. It
yeah.
feels pointless because it's like you're spinning wheels. There's no there's no evolution. And I mean, we were just talking about, yeah, how can you evolve the Joker? The way to evolve him is the tragedy part, is that he's either too confident or he completely loses the meaning of his cause, and that leads to his downfall. But for him, it's like, again, it's like he's struggling with this persona, and the lawyer, by the way, the lawyer in the movie too, it's like,
As soon as he gets raped, he's like raped.
she wanted to help him, but it's like the whole defense. That's why I say the premise of the movie itself is what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
And this is why I feel like for most people it is just a bad movie, because it's like it introduces this idea that feels totally disconnected from that first movie.
You
And
do bring a
the
good point
movie
to that too.
itself struggles. It literally struggles to even prove that yeah, there is two different people. If that was the case, they really needed to show us more evidence of that he's two different people. Because I mean, he was sitting in the court daydreaming, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna fire my lawyer and then take on the Joker persona, and then now he's sitting down listening to all, or well, he was listening to his witness,
And that's and
and then
that's
looking like a fool, and then he's like, oh well, I
that
guess
cost
I'm
that
not
could
the
co-
Joker then.
that basically cost them the result, because when he dressed up as a Joker to defend himself, he wasn't showing any signs of multiple personality disorder.
And what was his
Yeah.
argument for I still can't understand, why did he
It
bother
was 2 years
representing
between
himself?
films. I know it's between 2 years between the films. Like
I mean, to be honest, it would have been way more interesting from the jump if he was representing himself. That would
Yeah.
have, and it was like it would have been more interesting if he was representing himself, Arthur. Like it was like he was going back
Yeah, it's
between
easy.
Joker and Arthur. Then people could see visually, okay, yeah, this guy does have a split personality, or that there is some conflict within inside of him, where it's like Arthur is now starting to feel guilty about killing these people and what he did versus the Joker. That's what I'm saying that the movie's missing. It's missing some type of conflict within the character, and that's why
Yeah.
it's just not interesting. Is you're sitting down and you're
You know
like,
what?
what's going on?
If they did, like, obviously Two Face is in it. Well, technically Two Face is not in it, but the guy who is Two Face already. I have no problem if they want to go down the multi-personality route, where he does develop it. Like they could borrow that from Two Face. They could have done something like that.
I
Because
mean,
trauma does lead to that, right? Like some people
I mean,
develop.
they could have. I mean, that could have. You could have used that as a motif or a theme or a parallel,
Yeah,
where you have where maybe yeah maybe don't bring in Two Face because it's a Joker movie. It's not a comic book movie, but
yeah,
you could still have. You could have explored Harvey Dent and him viewing Joker and being like, no, he's this terrible person, but yet he himself, Harvey Dent, has a split personality that
yeah.
is starting to manifest within him. But again, that would take a lot of time. That would also require Harvey Dent to be some type of main character or a supporting character that has a lot of screen time, which clearly they weren't going to do. They had no interest in doing that.
No, he was just. You know what? You know what? Let's just get Harvey Dent, full-fledged, good lawyer, good attorney, good DA, who is not corrupt. That's just so. Despite some iterations, but most iterations we see that Harvey Dent is straight edge. He's not
Right.
corrupt. He doesn't take bribes. He doesn't do. He tries. Right. He's like that's why Batman trusts him. Right. Like always trusts Harvey
Yeah.
Dent. Right.
But I mean, if you were going to use Harvey Dent
Yeah.
in your movie, you probably should have played more into that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, but he just had, this is like, you know what? Harvey Dent's a lawyer, a DA. Let's just get this guy to be Harvey Dent. Like, okay, okay. What else? Like, and you know Bullock is in the movie too? Did you know that Finn Bullock's in the movie? He's
No, I
one of
didn't even realize. No.
he's an inmate.
Oh, he's an inmate. Okay.
I don't know if it's a true continuation. It was a fall of a It was a continuation, but I felt like it's the fall of the Joker more than the like.
I mean, I really wish it was a fall of the Joker. I don't really see it as a fall of the Joker. It's kind of like he trips and he falls right on his face and then he gets shanked. That's about it.
More about him. They didn't.
I would just love to see it, him as the Joker the whole movie, and then somebody else. He has, like stalkers have admirers who kill him. Like there's stalkers and admirers who kill the people they admire.
They
That
had the
would be
stalker and they had the obsessor. It
Yeah,
was Harley Quinn.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Expand on the brilliant
The
social
thing is,
commentary.
Degrassi, I know like the movie, I wanted to do some Joker like shit, man. He didn't
I mean,
kill anybody.
I wanted to see more of the conflict between Arthur and Joker and to establish
Like a
that
Green
whole
Goblin
idea.
thing. The
Well,
Green
yeah,
Goblin.
kind of like the Green Goblin. That would have been interesting to see, to have the character visualize,
We
oh, am I the Joker? Am I not the
did
Joker?
in the comics. Let me ask you: did Norman Osborn Green Goblin always have like a form of multipersonal disorder,
Yeah,
or was
he
it just
did have a split personality. He
Okay,
yeah.
okay. But when he became one of the Dark Avengers, right? Was that him as Green Goblin or Norman Osborn?
No, that was him as Norman Osborn.
Really? So even Norman Osborn was the villain too. Like that personality.
Yeah,
Was
Norman
important.
Osborn is still the villain. It's just that, yeah, sometimes it's like
It's not like
because
it's
because
not
I'm
like
not sure if you
Harvey
know this,
Dent.
but originally Hobgoblin was going to be another alter ego of Norman Osborn.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's
but
not
then they
so
decided
Norman
not to.
Osborn and Green Goblin is not like Harvey Dent, where Harvey Dent's the good guy and Two Face is clearly the villain side.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, there was a I mean, the parallels are there. If
Yeah.
you bringing up the whole split personality, there's the shadow and the. I mean, that's very much very Two-Face. So it's like, why they didn't play that up is, I mean, it's confusing to me. So I just feel like I mean, and when they say too, it's like they were writing the story or the script while they were shooting.
Mental case
That's
terror.
never a good sign.
Also, like the split personality aspect of Harvey Dent is supposed to be representative, an aspect of the personality between Batman and Bruce Wayne, right? Even though Batman and Bruce Wayne don't have that doesn't have that illness, but it's supposed to represent the dual personality, I guess, technically of Batman and Bruce Wayne, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, I know.
Terry, that we got from the first film. And when I walked out, I went, yeah, this is why they never wanted to do a sequel. This was clearly, I mean, look, we all knew the only reason they made Joker 2 is because the first Joker made $1 billion. And we all know by now that they never intended to do a sequel to Joker. But hey, it made $1 billion. We got to do another one.
Actually, Degrassi did show me that they were intending to make another one.
I mean, I regardless of what they say, it doesn't feel like that at all.
No,
It does not feel like that at all. Because the whole ending of the last movie, remember there was that whole discussion about whether it was in his head or not, and that's why people liked it, because it was ambiguous and what did it really mean? Even though it was, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but yeah, so it's like, oh, now you're like, oh, we've always intended to make a sequel. I mean, yeah, if the movie was successful, then yeah, I don't doubt it, but it feels like when you wrote the script, that was it. And maybe when you were filming, you're like, yeah, actually, we should do a sequel. This probably might be successful. But it's just like, I don't know. Regardless the intention that what they say, it just feels like there's a total disconnect. But the thing is, that's not even really the problem of the movie, though.
I'm gonna say this right now. All those people say they're not gonna do a Barbie 2. I guarantee they'll do a Barbie 2.
They'll do. I mean, anytime they say they're not going to do something, just
I know exactly. They do it. They do it.
Like yeah. Like, let's be honest. Like, when you make a ton of money, you're going to 100% make a sequel.
Yeah. Yeah. In an alternate world, Sonny would do Green Goblin. I would just be called the Goblin with no Spider-Man.
Yeah, probably.
That would be like this movie.
Yeah, it would be.
That's what this movie
Or
feels
like
like.
the Penguin show.
It didn't start from a position of we have something to say, like the first Joker movie did. It started with, first movie made $1 billion and won Joaquin Phoenix an Academy Award. We better do another one. And I adore Lady Gaga. Pointless.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga! Pointless in this movie. And by the way, and I won't give it away.
Give it away, John. Give it away.
I want to so badly.
Give it away.
All I see is now Flea with his face.
How long have we been going for?
I won't give it away. But they do something at the end of this movie that they thought was so cute and clever and was just stupid.
Ooh.
Like, so stupid that it actually undermines part of my enjoyment of Joker 1 as well. Again, I won't say what it is. You'll guys watch it.
Yeah, let y'all guys know this is a non-spoiler review he did. He doesn't really do spoiler reviews, so that you all know.
Yeah.
He may talk on his streams briefly, but he doesn't do spoiler reviews. And he did see it before we saw it, because he went to a screening. And I wonder what, yeah.
See what I mean? But again, yeah, this was a movie. It had a start, had a middle, and had an end. And I wish
like all movies.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for any of it.
Oh.
It is truly an awful film. Madam Web bad? No.
It's
a different bad. It's a different kind of bad.
Yeah, the
It's a
thing
different
is,
bad.
Madam Web.
Madam Web
so
is just an
bad.
incompetent
People
movie.
actually
It's just
wanted to watch it.
It's poorly written. It's poorly directed. It shouldn't really even exist. It's just like, how do you? You're supposed to be a
professionals and you
I
make
did see
this.
it, Degrassi. So
And then
yeah.
you have something like Borderlands that just feels soulless
The
and
thing is,
doesn't resemble anything of the source material, and you're like, why did you bother
Madam
making this?
Brab, Madam Brab is one of those movies so bad that for the first week of Netflix, people wanted to see how bad it was. I don't think the Joker's gonna have that on HBO.
The Joker is bad because it's just a waste of potential. It's like you have
Yeah,
the pieces there. You do have something to say here. It's just that your execution, like it's like you needed to go back and rewrite some of this stuff because it's not connecting very well. It's not gelling well. And on top of that too, you're missing a lot of fundamentals of why people want to watch a movie in general. It's like there's really no conflict. There's nothing like there's no suspense. You're just sitting. I just sat there, like I told you, blank faced, glazed over. I'm not sleepy. I'm not tired. I'm watching the movie, but I'm like forgetting the musical numbers because they were just bland. It's like the music that they pick wasn't even exciting. It didn't be like, oh yeah, this fits the story and like the number itself and how it was staged and the product. It was just sort of like, oh, they're singing, and it's supposed to be like the Franklin Murray show, and then there's like some drama there with Harley Quinn pulls out the gun, and then it's like, oh, it's all about me, and you're like, okay, what does this have to do with anything? Is this him having doubt about Harley Quinn, but then he's still, I mean, it keeps going on where they're getting married, and it's like what, like I don't know. You like
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just like like it's a baffling kind of a movie. You're just sitting
yeah.
there and you're like,
There's gonna be no memes
what
from
am I
this.
even watching this?
There's gonna be no memes from this movie. From those two movies, there's definitely memes.
Borderlands bad? No. You still had one of the most gifted performers on the earth right now in Joaquin Phoenix, who acted his ass off, and
Napoleon bad
yes,
on par, and
yeah,
that's
I'll say Napoleon bad.
those are Phoenix led too.
Yeah, I'll say I might even have preferred
Oh,
Napoleon
so they
over
didn't
this
see
movie.
it. So they didn't
And
see
how
Yeah.
it. They
does
clearly
Joaquin
did not see
Phoenix
it.
agree to this movie? I'm guessing because of money. But how does he
He
agree
he
to
got a
this
raise.
movie, but like he pulls out of other movies? You know, like this weird, oh, I can't do it, and
He probably got a huge raise for this movie. Yeah, he did
I
pull.
don't
Does pull.
doubt. But he always has like, cold feet when it comes to
And he
movies, so you're
said,
like, what's going on?
and he said he would never do a comic book a sequel. That's why he turned
Well,
down
yeah,
Doctor Strange.
that's what I'm saying. Don't never believe. Listen. People will always change their mind. I will change my mind. Aaron will change
Yeah,
their mind. People will change their mind on stuff. So never like. That's why it's kind of dumb to make
yeah,
a, what do you call it? Like this definitive stance of, oh yeah, I'm definitely not going to do that. Yeah, the people change, and I feel like
yeah.
people should have the right to change their mind because it's like
That's
sometimes it's about perspective. I mean, that's why I'm like curious, right? Because I really truly do not believe. And again, I could be proven wrong, but I really can't see how this movie will be a cult movie in like I don't even 5 years. Like I would struggle to really understand that
yeah,
because it's like this isn't this isn't like a lot of other examples where people can pull them up. It's a movie where you're just sitting down and you're like, I can't really find any single piece of enjoyment or like I'm not like even like I don't see anything interesting thematically, or I don't see like, yeah, cinematography wise it looks nice, but it's not like, oh my God, this is gonna change everything like Blade Runner, where now everybody's like, oh, that the art design and the cinematography was so unique where now everybody's gonna be like inspired by it. No. So it's like, I
mhm.
don't know. It's just it's a competently made movie that is just poorly written.
Yeah,
That's really it. It's a poorly written movie that feels like they put it together. They thought, okay, this is something deep. There's something here. There really isn't, right? I mean, at least not in its current form. There is maybe like after like I don't know 100 drafts there might be, but I don't know. And the fact that now there is that rumor that there's multiple endings, or like
if you had multiple endings, then you probably have multiple scenes where you're like, oh, if we're gonna go with this ending, we're gonna have to cut these scenes
Yeah,
because they're not gonna make sense, right?
yeah.
Or we're gonna have to add this, right? So, I mean, if you think
Well,
about it, what I pointed out last night, if they kept the Harley Quinn killing Joker, that guy who's in the background who's trying to always either take the spotlight from Arthur, that would be confusing too on another rewatch where
mhm.
people would be like, why did this guy is always in Arthur's shadow, so to speak? Because yeah, he was supposed to be the Joker, but I don't know. That part to me is just like clearly there is stuff missing from this movie. 100%. That
Well,
maybe would have made the movie better.
I think the thing is, Degrassi, the first movie was a hit, right? So
Right.
when the first movie is a hit, you expect the second movie to be a hit. And I know
Yeah.
people,
What sequel? Hold on a minute. What sequel? There's been sequels that either are not as
X Men,
successful as the original. They're not
Spider
as
Man,
as the best rated like the original. But this movie's being slammed.
yeah,
It
X
has
Men.
it has the
X Men was
worst
good.
cinema
Spider Man,
score of the year. It's dropping like a fly at the box office. The word of mouth on it is bad. Like the only movie that has ever really crumbled at the box office like this is what? Batman versus Superman? Like that was like the last movie where it's like this movie should have made at least $100 million domestically opening weekend. Now people are saying it might not even make 40.
Calling Joker 2 what was
40
so.
million. It won't even make 40 million domestically at the box
Mhm.
office. That I mean that just shows you that people were like, damn, the word of mouth
It's
on it
this.
is
It's
bad.
Yeah,
just. It was so utterly again. Just to run down the list again. No character development. Nothing to say. No point to the whole thing. The music just interrupted the story instead of telling the story.
true.
And I didn't
Yep.
feel like we walked out with anything after the movie was done, other than something they tried to do at the end that actually undermined my enjoyment of the previous
Sam.
movies. It's it's a bad film.
No.
And the beautiful thing about film is the subjectivity of it.
Yeah, I know Degrassi. We know. Don't worry, man. We're always disagree on stuff, and we always agree on stuff. It's nothing personal. I know.
Yeah, I mean it is
Yeah,
what it is. I'm just ranting
there's
here, but
there's movies I like that nobody likes. I'm sure the same with Blinded.
yeah, I mean that's not my argument. My argument is my own argument. I'm only arguing for myself
Yeah,
and seeing what I'm talking about. Yeah, the cinema score generalized, right? We're talking about the audience members themselves. They clearly don't like it too, right? That doesn't mean you can't like the movie, but clearly there's a lot of people who are looking at this or they watch the movie and they're like, "Damn, that was bad."
yeah.
Right? I mean, it's the consensus, right? Like there's a consensus with every single movie.
Blade Runner. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Blade
So I
Runner wasn't
often
a
have movies that I
successful
don't
movie
like.
when it
Then I
came
see
out.
that other people
It
like
wasn't
it.
Yeah.
well
Okay,
received
I get why
either.
you liked it. It
Yeah.
wasn't for me.
There's
Or
tons of
movies
movies
that
like
I
that.
loved and other people
You know
didn't.
look at the Room all of a sudden became a cult classic, and they made a film about that with James Franco, and they're making
Yeah.
another film about the Room. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
I forget what it's called. Oh, Degrassi will let me know. But there's the Room. It's the Room next door. No, the Room. I forget who's doing it.
I mean, the thing is, bad movies can be cult classics. We were watching Neil Breen. We watched Neil Breen and make fun of
Yeah.
his movies.
The Room. There is a movie called The Room. And apparently the actor who was in the Tommy Wiseau movie is actually going to be in that movie.
Right.
What's his name? Greg Sestero? I'll find it. Greg Sinestro. Greg Sinestro. I typed that. Greg Sinestro. He's a party. That's Sinestro from the Yellow Corpse. The Room Returns. Yeah, it's called The Room Returns. The remake of the 2003 film, and it is
Oh
not.
man.
And it is not what you think it is. Oh my God, it is being made. Production company acting for a cause, distributed by acting for a cause. So it's an independent film, but it's having. Oh, and it's gonna be directed by Brandon Crawford, and Tommy Wiseau is writing it, but it's gonna have Ben Odenkirk in it, Kate Siegel, yeah, and who's working on it too? Who's gonna be a writer? Who's writing it?
What?
Oh
Who?
yeah, no, who is writing it? I'm pretty sure I saw. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So Mike Flanagan is actually gonna act on it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Neil Breen.
Yeah, Neil Breen. I mean, Neil Breen makes garbage movies, and I
Yeah.
mean, we still watch them.
Hey, we watched we watched a couple of them last year. The stairs dance from Joker One Love was more intense. It's instantly iconic and clears everything the Joker too lazily threw in up to the screen. Yeah, people parody that dance, man. People actually like that
Yeah.
movie. People actually went to those steps and did that dance. Like that's
Yeah.
real. That's
Yeah, they did.
here. There's
I
nothing.
mean,
like,
that's still going to always be around, regardless of this movie.
yeah, like that movie made those steps a landmark.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, I get why you didn't like it. This is one of those examples where it's like, I hated this movie and I don't understand how anybody else didn't hate it. I mean, it's subjectivity of film. I hope other people like it. I want people to like movies, even if they're movies I don't like. But this is
He
one
says
where off
this
the top of my
every-
head.
He says this every time. Every time. He's
I
like,
mean, I don't
hope you-
really. I mean, I could listen. You can have your opinion. I don't really care. I'm just gonna talk about my opinion and what I felt about the movie and what I see, what's going on. That's really it,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like
Man,
it
I don't
doesn't
understand
make
how other
sense to
people
talk
like-
about what other people are gonna say. Let them voice their opinion, right? And then we can agree or disagree.
And listen, to be fair, the movie's got like the majority of critics like the film. Not a big majority, but like I think it's got like a 62%.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's not 62% anymore. It's way down, guys. Let you
No,
know.
it's like 30, what, 4?
Yeah.
So that's pretty okay. But I don't understand what they saw because I thought this was a
Funny,
dreadful
he
movie.
does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Guys,
I
we
think
want to
the
take a
top
second to
critic
thank a
score is
sponsor
even
of today's
lower,
video.
to be honest.
It's
Yeah.
Campea Fee with the promo F your king, right? Who's great in it. Lady Gaga's character is terrible.
Ugh.
So I can't judge her on that because she had nothing to work with. Right? Nothing to work with at all. So whatever.
It's at 64%,
Man,
by the way. if that's
64.
what you said.
This part of the
Donald
game is
Gleason's
confusing,
dad.
man. I'm talking at the same time. Oh my god.
Brennan Gleeson. He's always money.
Yeah.
He plays the security guard at the prison at Arkham.
He's a
Yeah.
ter-
Yeah, he was fine in the movie.
I agree. Yeah, the Matrix sequels. Most of the time,
I don't
sequels
think
ruin-
anybody's like bad in the movie. It's
No,
like the
I think-
performances are not bad at all.
I think most of the times, I don't know if you agree with me. Most sequels don't ruin the first movies. Usually.
No. I wouldn't say this movie ruins the sequel. I just think it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense as a follow-up to the first movie.
The la-
It's like
the la-
I'm
Yeah.
not even like the biggest fan of the original movie either. Like it's not like I think the original movie is like some sacred cow that like, oh my god, they fucking butchered it. No, I think it has its own problems too. Right? I think it definitely has better scenes. I think it makes a lot more sense in terms
know
of the
which-
story
I
that they
know
were trying
who.
to tell.
Sony with Spider-Man 3. Not Sam Raimi, but Sony with Spider-Man 3. I think,
For like a sequel that's like was poorly received, yeah. I mean, people were ragging on Spider-Man 3, but now people have like gone back and be like, actually, it's not that bad. So maybe that will happen to the Joker too.
here's the thing. As you get older, sometimes say you watch a movie from 10, 20 years ago, but then, right? Your
Mhm.
view of the movie could change.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So like, it happens all the time. You could realize, oh man, I really like this movie. 10, 20 years later, watch it again. Well, this movie actually was not that good.
And sometimes it really is perspective. I think
Yeah.
perspective really does that. Because
There's a
it's
lot of
like, yeah,
kid movies.
maybe this movie, people and like something will happen, and then like 20 years later,
A
this
lot,
movie comes back around, and people are like, actually, you know what? It makes more sense. But as it currently stands right now, I don't see it making a
lot,
lot of
a
sense.
lot of kid movies are like that, right? As a kid, yeah, you'll like these movies, but as it gets older, these are not.
Yeah,
These kid
or
movies are not.
sometimes it's the reverse. Sometimes you don't like a movie, and then you watch it, and then you're like, oh, actually, I like
Yes,
this movie.
yes. Because sometimes you may watch a movie that 10, 20 years ago, and you might be younger, and you don't understand something of the movie. And as you get older, as you learn more, maybe you understand the movie more and see what the
Right.
point is. Yeah,
And
like
that's why I say I think it's more. I'm more interested in seeing what would happen with this movie in 5, 10, 15 years.
hey, the view with Drew. What's up?
this. And actually, there's particularly one scene in particular that he has with Joaquin Phoenix. Him and Joaquin share a number of scenes together, and they have a pretty good chemistry together. And he again
Yeah, that's like that's the
is
best relationship in the movie is those two.
Hmm.
The thing is, the first Fantastic Four movie I still like. I think it was a solid movie.
Yeah,
Like I don't know why there's haters on it. It's actually I don't think it's a bad
I liked
Marvel.
it as a kid. I don't really have
Yeah,
a problem with that movie.
yeah.
I haven't seen it recently, but I mean, it's the sequel that is kind of like, eh.
What's the Great War you ate?
Hmm.
Fan Four Stick is Fan Four Stick. Yeah, I agree with Fan Four
Yeah,
Stick.
Fan Four Stick is bad for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Spider-Man 3 is that bad. I just think Venom wasn't.
No, I don't think Spider-Man 3 is bad. I mean,
I
I
just
don't
think
like
Venom.
Venom in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say it's the problem is Venom. Yeah.
the best question that's any movie there is QA.
Hmm. But I do think, I mean, I do wonder what this movie would have been like if they did test the movie.
Yep, this is true, Sam.
Because I feel like they could have we could have definitely gotten a better movie out of it for sure. Would it be? I mean this is that's why I say I really. And one of my friends was like, "You're crazy for saying this," but it's like I do struggle to be like, I don't know if I can really deep down inside call these big blockbuster movies at least art. Like I really do struggle with calling them that because it's like I, it's like if it was really truly art, they would just you could do whatever the fuck you want. There's no consequence, right?
Hmm.
But it's like when you're making these movies, there's you gotta make back the money. You gotta deal with all these people on set. It's like it almost takes away from the individual impact of it, right? Because there's so many fingerprints on it, and it's like at this point now it's you can ruin people's careers, you could throw
Yeah,
people's money down the drain, you can I mean even with these movies and there's danger to them too when they're doing stunts, so there's a ton of different stuff going on, and sometimes people or directors, they're so far up their ass, they care more about the vision and they don't really care about the crew, they don't actually
yeah.
care about anybody, and then the movies flop and the movie's not well received, and then you're like, well, what was that even for? So it's like, this whole idea of like, and actors too, when actors do like this method acting and they're artists, like it's dumb as fuck. Like I think it's like I don't understand how, just because they can give a good performance that we could just tolerate bullshit like that. Because it's like you're interacting with these people on a daily
How
basis trying to make this movie.
I don't know how you can method act as people like Jared Leto as a Joker, man. You can't no, or a freaking Morbid. Like, don't method
I,
act.
I just I just I really do truly struggle with calling it art because to me and my personal definition of art is it's more of an individual thing that people make and you make on your own.
Yeah.
And once you introduce so many different hands and fingerprints and you introduce money, you introduce all different types of stuff,
Well, to be honest with
that
you,
the expression part of it is now almost lost.
you know
Where
what
it's
the
like you
definition of an indie movie is now, TJ? Definition of indie movie is any movie that's budget's under 10 million. That's it.
or just someone who personally financed their own movie, which
That
is
yeah,
very
exactly.
rare. That's a
Which is
that's a
which is
massive risk to do.
yeah, yeah. That too. So it's either 10 million or that.
because most people who do that, their movies are not going to be successful. You still need the reason why movies
And
are
they usually don't go
successful.
to, they usually don't go to theaters either. They usually go on streaming services. Like,
Well, sometimes they don't.
yeah, that's true.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they don't. So it's like making movies is just such it's a hard it's a hard thing to do. Like everybody who makes a movie, like yeah, they're lucky that they even got the movie out. I
Yeah.
mean, even though we shit on Madam Web, it's like yeah, some people like they're making a movie and it takes them forever and they don't release it.
Yeah.
And there's tons of people who yeah, they have this dream and it never comes true.
Yeah. I think we should.
So
My
Brendan
God,
Gleeson was
that was
great.
a great. That was great before I played it again. Image, but this is a great image too.
He's great in it. The guy who played Harvey Dent, not good.
Ooh.
I don't know who it was. I don't recognize the actor, but not a good performance. But again, I don't want to judge him too harshly because he didn't have great material to
Harry
work with.
Lottie is his name.
Sure.
What do you want, Aaron Eckhart?
I didn't think it was very good.
Sure.
The other inmates, including Arthur's got this one kind of sycophant who's another prisoner in Arkham.
Fanboy.
Not very good at all.
How
Again,
dare somebody
though,
be like
didn't
that?
have
He was
anything
the
to
best
work
part
with.
of the movie. No kidding.
So maybe the kid's a brilliant actor, just not anything good to work with. Oh, Girl from 40-Year-Old Virgin and Get Out. The main,
Catherine Keener.
Catherine Keener?
Catherine Keener.
yeah, Catherine Keener
Like she's been around. How do you not know her name?
plays
Probably
his lawyer.
forgot. I forgot.
Always
too.
gives a good performance.
Always love.
Yeah, we know more than him.
Yeah.
Being John
And,
Malkovich.
he's a movie pundit. How do we know more than him?
I mean, to be fair, I forgot too. But yeah.
I know. I remember her. I know. The thing is,
Yeah, I mean,
this is the difference between Campea and Grace. Grace does her research and she shows it. Campea doesn't. Yes, other people do.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's something to be said about the performances in the film.
And one more question.
Yeah.
Let's say you take the movie out.
And they had Steve Coogan for like 5 minutes as the interviewer. Like we seen that guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I thought
that
good.
was honestly, I actually did like that scene. That was actually a decent scene in the movie, but I wish there was more
I thought it was-
like that.
I thought it was gonna be a psychiatrist when I first saw him. I thought it was gonna be like
Yeah.
Jonathan Crane.
They needed to do like scenes like Mindhunter. I'm not sure if you've seen
yeah.
Mindhunter, but when they would interview people, that was I think what I mean, I mentioned this last night. It's like kind of weird that Todd Phillips has done a documentary on a serial killer, but yet this movie doesn't feel like he knows anything about true crime and like how this all works when it comes to these big trials of serial killers. I mean, you could make like that's why I'm not against a trial setting for this movie because it's like, well, I mean, yeah, he's a high profile quote unquote serial killer. It makes a lot of sense. But you need to find a balance. You need some drama, you need some conflict, some twists. You can't just be regurgitating stuff we already knew from the first movie and like trying to pass it off like, oh, this is from a different perspective. But it's like, no, I think we all could consider that perspective. It's not like, it's not this massive revelation like, oh my God, Sophie, she didn't call the police. She just like, let him be. She didn't really care. Because it's like, okay, like, all right, like, what do we get out of that? What's the irrelevance of this? I don't know, just.
Jared Leto really was back acting in a wheelchair.
He's always method acting. Did Jared Leto go to those P. Diddy parties? Something I want to know.
I mean, he did do his band was around when P. Diddy was the top, right? Like
Right.
how long ago was Jared Leto singing? Like he's been singing for like what 20 years, something like that.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
And you take all the numbers out.
Yep.
Were the songs any good?
No. Well, I mean, let me rephrase. There's no original songs in it.
Oh,
Right.
there's none.
No, they're not original
They're
songs.
covers.
What
Oh.
the
Yes,
world
it's
needs
musical.
now is love, sweet
Oh,
love.
okay.
Like, it's all covers.
They should have had
They
one
should've got
original
Lady Gaga.
song. Yeah.
They should have got Lady Gaga to cover up songs.
Yeah, they should
for
have.
this.
They definitely should have.
That'd been an interesting concept, but yeah.
And that's fine. Moulin Rouge is all covers, but they're perfectly used in the places that they're used. Not so much this one.
How was Steve Coogan? Because I really like Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
Which one was Steve Coogan?
Patty Myers?
Patty
I think he was
Myers.
like a news, like an interviewer or something like
Oh, yes.
He's British.
He's British.
One scene.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
that was
one
it.
scene.
It was one scene, and again, I wouldn't hold it
Well,
against
by
him
the way,
because
was anybody else
the
curious
material.
to see what that TV movie that they made on the Joker was like?
Well,
That was
isn't
the one thing I was like, damn, I kind of wish we saw something like that in the movie. What it
I
was.
thought the cartoon was supposed to be part of that.
No, the cartoon was just a retelling of the first movie,
Yeah.
but they added in the shadow.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, oh, the shadow was the one who actually went up on the stage, and it wasn't Arthur. And you're like, yeah, but that doesn't even make sense because he comes in as the Joker. It's not like he came in as as Arthur, and then the shadow is, you know, the one putting up on the makeup, and then he stands there. So it's
Mhm.
like the animation also. That's what I'm saying. The premise of it bothered me because it's like, so you're trying to tell me Arthur didn't stand up there and shoot Franklin, even though he was. Is it Franklin or Murray Franklin? Whatever. You know what I mean. What I'm talking about. Robert De Niro's character.
Yeah, Murray Franklin.
Right. Okay. But you're trying to tell me he only like it was the shadow or the split personality is the one that killed him, even though he's dressed up as the Joker. Like I don't know. I just felt like that's just to me really hard to believe. You needed to really set that up a little bit better. Like again, either have Arthur come in and it's like, oh, I'm like he's scared and he doesn't know what he's doing, and then the shadow is like convincing him you got to do this stuff, and the shadow's the one who puts on the makeup and pushes him out. So it's like it's kind of like confusing where you see Arthur as Joker in the makeup. It's like okay, like is the shadow giving him some like false confidence? Like what is actually going on? That's the part that was so frustrating to me in the movie, where it's like this could have just been developed a little bit better.
Yeah.
Was bad. The material was bad.
So this was a money grab, you think? Did it end up looking like?
Well,
does it look-
remember, every movie ever made is
Oh,
a
right,
money
right,
grab,
Yeah.
right? So is Joker 2 a money grab? Yes, but every movie is a money grab.
By the way,
This-
this is what I was saying. That's why I was careful to say, I like this is more applies to blockbusters because I don't.
I forgot to slow
Most
down.
movies,
Sorry, guys.
most movies that you try to make, they're not really money grabs.
Oh,
It's like a
really?
certain threshold becomes a money grab. When you start investing a lot of money, regardless of what it is, it's 100% a money grab because you're trying to make a return on your investment. But if you're someone who's like, oh, I'm gonna make this art house movie for I don't know, like 100K or $1 million, like those people are not gonna get money back. They really aren't, unless it's like some breakout movie. Most of those movies do not make their money back. Maybe they might make some money, but they're not gonna make a profit. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say every single movie's a money grab, but I would definitely say after a certain threshold, like
No,
these people are.
You can't say
It
that.
becomes commercial. It
You
becomes
said
commercial for
independent-
sure.
You said we talked about independent films. Independent films are not money grabs.
No. Well, I mean, like I don't even like the word independent bothers me too.
Okay.
That's a term that bothers me because it's like that with video games too, where people are like, this game is an independent game, but it has the quality of a AAA game. Is that really an independent game? That's not
Oh,
what
yeah.
people think, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with movies. It's like people would say A24 is indie. It's
I'm
like
kind of.
no,
Is that a
A24
Vino?
is how is A24 an indie? Like yeah, they might pick up movies that were produced elsewhere and they buy it up, but it's
Yeah.
like like I don't know. That's another freaking can of worms, but like
If
I
they
don't know.
are,
I just don't like that term.
I mean, you're not making something if you don't. You make something to get money. Like if you're in business, you're there to make money. Because if you don't make
Yeah.
money, you can't continue that business. Like your business will suffer.
Yeah, but the thing is and this is why I say this really applies to movies that are
Yeah, TJ.
cheaper. But some movies can take that hit. They used to do that.
Look at this.
That's what they used to do. They can't do that anymore. There's no major studio is gonna go there and go,
Wow.
we're only making this movie for the art of it, for
Yes.
nominations and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't, and it has a big budget. No, they'll never do that.
And most of those people don't really see those movies, unfortunately.
No, yeah. I mean,
Like,
they could market them and they can make them more appealing. They 100%
yeah.
could, but the problem is now when you do that, now you're compromising the artist's vision.
Yeah. Look at this. This should be a talent. What should we call this talent that for me that I'm able to stop every time on
I
a
don't know. You
maze?
got freeze frame powers.
I don't know. This is not accident blinded. I'm sorry. This is accident. I'm sorry. This is accidental because I don't do this on purpose. Like you can't do this on purpose. I don't know what this
Yeah.
is. It's an unexplained talent. So we're going to come up with a name for. Okay,
Yeah, we're
eventually.
gonna have to come up with a name for this.
This is a little bit more overtly a money grab.
Yeah, because you said that they didn't want
Well,
it.
No, yeah, the plan.
To me,
They were
it's a
never
cynic-
going to make a Joker
It's
2.
about the cynical approach. We only did it to cash in. You know what I mean? Not because
Yeah.
we thought we had something good.
Again,
I don't know. I
I'm
think
so
maybe they did
disappointed
think
in
it
this
was
movie.
good.
Yeah.
and I say this.
Of course. Of
I
course.
mean, yeah, no one makes a movie and thinks
No.
it's gonna be bad, but yeah.
Yes. Let's make a movie. Let's make this terrible movie, guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
everybody
yes,
thinks
let's
they
make this
have the
terrible.
$1 million movie, right? But yeah.
Sorry, I had to take a huge shit off the bar. Oh, how those
Bruh.
Big Macs, man? Did you watch that? Oh my god.
No, what happened?
Oh, they're having a contest on Gavin Geeks with Finbar, Adalis, and Tony. They have
Right.
to eat like 6 Big Macs. 6 Big Macs is 2 patties.
6 Big Macs, like what, at one time?
No, I mean one after another, right? And see how long
Oh,
they can
well, I
last.
mean, that's what I
Yes.
mean. Oh,
Yeah.
shit, okay. Damn.
Of course, you had to take a huge shit, Finbar.
Yeah, you're gonna have like fucking diarrhea after that shit. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
fucking god.
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
be
you
nasty.
fucking-
It's gonna be fucking nasty.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I do not like McDonald's burgers. I think they're shit.
Really? Oh wow, okay, that's an interesting take. I mean, yeah, they're shit. They're like crappy burgers for sure. But
Yeah,
I mean, they're
You went to
cheap
Wendy's
burgers.
last night?
Yeah, I went to Wendy's because they had.
I
I
went
said
at
that.
Wendy's.
Yeah, they had the Krabby Patty burger. So I was like, oh shit.
Wendy's is better than McDonald's.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
say
Sometimes. I mean the Baconator. Like one time they gave me this like poorly made Baconator, and I was just like, I'm never gonna buy that again for a
Thank
while.
you.
So
You know they got rid of spicy McNuggets. They had spicy McNuggets for a year, and they got rid of it at McDonald's.
yeah, they bring it back though.
I'm like good because when I had one the first time I had it, it made me puke during the night. I woke up during the night and I would throw up.
Holy shit! They're not that spicy. I like spicy
I
food,
don't.
but
I don't think. I don't think it's because it's spicy. I just think it's whatever it
oh
was.
man.
And I like Wendy. Yeah,
I mean, I only
Wendy.
really when I go to McDonald's, I only really order like 2 things at McDonald's: a double cheeseburger, only ketchup, and Junior McChicken. That's it. I don't care about anything else.
I like the chicken McNuggets at McDonald's. I like Wendy's. I like Wendy's burgers or chicken fingers. Like Harvey's. Harvey's is Canadian.
Yeah, Harvey's is way better. Yeah, Harvey's
Yeah.
is way better.
It's Canadian. It's really, really good. Sometimes I go to AEW. AEW is American. We all know this. They're famous for.
Well, I think
sometimes
I
they go
think it's not in. I don't think A&W's in the States anymore.
no. That
No,
sucks.
I think they
You
they
guys
went
get
out of
AEW in the
business.
States, the Americans. I did it for The Rock. Yeah, The
I
Rock
think-
came back at WWE tonight. Yeah.
So yeah, someone confirm. I thought I thought I heard they went out of business in the States.
Oh, Wendy's is so good. Stop talking about food.
What did he say? I can't. I'm
The
not.
thing
seeing
is,
anything.
when you mentioned Wendy's last night, I was thinking about getting Wendy's today just because of you. You put
Oh,
on
man.
my-
Actually, the Frosty, they had the pineapple Frosty. That actually tastes pretty good.
You get AEW where you're, TJ. TJ is not in America, by the way. He lives in
Right.
across the road.
As
Yeah,
somebody
I haven't
who
been to
more
A&W
than most
in a
people,
very long time.
They're only at gas stations. The only time I see them is like at the gas stations. Like
Yeah.
one of
Well,
these
I
guys-
mean, well, I'm not gonna dox you, but you live in an area where it would be all in gas stations. That
Yeah.
kind of applies to me too. Yeah.
Oh, you still have
It's
it at
weird.
gas station? Also, now gas station and convenience stores now finally in Ontario sell alcohol.
Yeah, my corner store sells alcohol now. It's crazy.
Yeah. We caught to you guys. We
LCBO's gonna
caught
go
to you
out of
Americans.
business.
Yeah, we caught to you Americans in selling alcohol and just regular.
Yeah, the first
stores.
time I saw alcohol at Walmart, I was blown away. So
yeah.
what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, because
Yo,
like,
when are they gonna start? When are they gonna start selling weed at the fucking Walmart?
here's the thing. I don't think it's ever gonna happen because there's weed stores everywhere in Toronto.
I think it will happen one day. I honestly
Oh
think it's
my
gonna
god,
happen one
really?
day.
That's
Yeah.
gonna kill. You know how many weed
10,
stores?
10 years from now, 10 years or
There's-
5 years from now, they'll do it.
There's marijuana stores everywhere in Toronto.
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah, everywhere. It's
If there's
crazy.
one item weed source that you could buy at the most in Toronto, it's weed because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it used to be Tim Hortons is everywhere, but now it's weed places.
Our
it's everywhere.
combination of KFC is Taco Bell.
Yeah, or we have Wendy's and Tim Hortons.
Yeah, Wendy's and Tim Hortons. Yeah.
Yeah.
passionately love that first Joker. I love. Actually, Ray, can you do me a favor?
I want Campea to dress up. This video made me think like Campea's gonna turn to the Joker. He's gonna put on some
Ma-
white paint, red lipstick, green hair. Bye, Finbar.
See you, Finbar.
Oh yeah, don't fart a lot in bed, man.
Who wrote the screenplay for the first Joker?
Okay, got you.
Because I wonder.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't
think
even
the guy
check
who-
who wrote the screenplay. I don't.
think-
Was it just
think-
Todd Phillips?
I think the guy who's writing a screenplay. I don't know for this movie or the first Joker is gonna. It's supposed to be working on the Spawn movie, right?
Interesting.
I'll find out later.
I can't remember if Todd Phillips wrote the screenplay for the first one or not. But I know he was one of the two screenwriters for the second
Todd
one.
Phillips.
So he did write the
Scott
screenplay for the first
Silver
one.
and Bob Kane.
Scott Silver.
I mean,
yeah, Scott Silver's the one. who's gonna
well,
do-
Bob Kane did
yeah.
write the
Well, yeah,
screenplay.
yeah.
Right, but
He's a creator, yeah.
so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Scott
the
Silver's the
opposite-
one that's supposed to be working on Spawn.
Did he write
think.
the sequel?
Yes, he did.
Who wrote the? Oh, he did. Okay.
Wrote 8 Mile, The Fighter, Finest Hours, Joker, and this Joker.
Interesting.
Yeah. Same writer for both. I think this is the guy Scott Silver is supposed to be working on Spawn for Blumhouse.
Right.
But I don't see
Of-
it. I don't see it. But whatever.
Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. How did they go from such a
You
bad?
know what? I know. There's the rumors of Doctor Strange getting Sam Raimi back, and he's doing a movie with Rachel Adams, another horror movie that's been announced today. That's Rachel Adams is going to be in a Sam Raimi horror movie, not Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
Blumhouse should get Sam Raimi to do Spawn.
Ooh, but did you hear that rumor that's going around
What?
that they're gonna get him for Doctor Strange 3? They're actually
Yeah.
negotiating with him.
Yeah, but he's also doing another horror movie first, I think. But like,
I don't know who should direct Spawn, but
But
we'll
I
even
would
see
try to
if
get
that
Sam
movie
Raimi,
happens.
man.
Sam Raimi would be cool though, yeah.
I mean,
Darkman
we
kind of has a Spawn vibe to it, even though, I mean, yeah,
yeah, but he could do a lot more with Spawn than Darkman.
yeah.
He could cook King Spawn, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think Sam Raimi would be pretty good for Spawn for sure.
Spawn, Sam Raimi. I mean, I think it's a good idea for Doctor Strange 3 to get Sam Raimi back. I think that's a wise
Yeah.
choice. Honestly, it's not his fault. The movie wasn't. I mean, the movie wasn't bad, but it's not his fault. The writing was
Yeah, it
not
was
his
the
fault.
writing. Yeah,
The
the
dialogue of
writing's
the writing
not
was
his
not his
fault.
fault, and that's not his fault. So I'm okay with that. But he would do a great Spawn, a great Spawn.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he gets to direct
And
Doctor
if
Strange
the
3.
way he used, let's say the way he used Wanda in Doctor Strange with Spawn,
Yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah,
Spawn.
hopefully he gets I would like to I would
Season 1
definitely
to
like
such
to
an
see him
amazing
do
season.
that.
Yeah. And he might have more freaking. I mean, it is Sam Raimi, so Marvel may let him do more of what he wants. But Spawn, I'm pretty sure, well, it depends on Tom McFarlane. Tom McFarlane's very protective of Spawn.
Right.
Season 2.
And I know Tom McFarlane does not blame Sam Raimi for Venom. Let's just get it straight. He does not blame Sam Raimi for Venom. He blames the studio for Venom. Yeah, because remember, he does not. Tom McFarlane hated that Venom in Spider-Man 3
Yeah, he did.
because he created Venom, right? He created Venom, right? Yeah.
Did they make such a brilliant, thought-provoking, interesting first Joker, and then squat down and crap out Joker 2 like this? I have no idea. Anyway, guys, listen.
I
wanna
either
remind
think well,
everybody,
it's
all
writing
films-
and the editing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Objective.
I wonder if they'll because it's so bad they'll be like, oh, here's another cut of the movie on Blu-ray.
Watch it. Watch. That's gonna happen. In a month from now, this movie's gonna be on.
I wonder.
Yeah, so Spawn, to let you know, originally they were going to have a smaller budget for Spawn, but Blumhouse came out, I don't know how recent it was, but they said the Spawn was going to have one of their biggest budgets for Blumhouse ever. Yeah. I mean, we kind of need to see a third comic book company to have a big, because lately they haven't because Crow did not succeed. Bloodspot, a lot of them haven't. Marvel, DC has the DC movies have been flopping, but it's still juggernaut DC, right? There's still some good stuff from DC, but we haven't really seen another comic book company that's not DC or Marvel really succeed. Besides in the TV side of things, I mean, you got Invincible and The Boys, but I'm talking movie.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the one. King Spawn is a horror kind of comic, so I think Tom McFarlane wants it to be a horror kind of thing. Spawn could be horror or could not be horror. Spawn's very versatile in that way.
Just because I didn't like this movie, and I really didn't like this movie.
Doctor Strange could be horror or not horror, right? Or
that does not mean you might not like it. If you've been super interested in going to see Joker, don't get turned off because I didn't like it. Go see it if you're really interested in it, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do,
I thought this movie was going to turn John into the Joker. John Campea the Joker.
Drop me a note and let me know why. Because I just didn't see anything redeemable about this movie. Anyway, whatever you guys think about all this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video.
All right, we really see your face again. Unless you look at the Joker. All right. That's a good stream.
Have my thing on mute, yeah.
Yeah, King. Yo, Degrassi, do we know if Jeremy Renner's still supposed to be working on the Spawn movie? Jamie Foxx? Because they've been rumored for 6, 7 years.
Well, I mean, I think Jamie Foxx was at those Diddy parties, so.
Oh! Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Ah! Yeah, man. Yeah, they are. Image Comics is great. That is great, man. Uh, Sam and Twitch. Because I remember Jeremy Renner was supposed to be rumored to be in the Spawn movie. I know, like, Jimmy
Right.
Fox was supposed to be Al Simmons Spawn. I don't know what else. That's the only two I remember. Like, they haven't. Um, finally got the title King Spawn. They got the writers. They don't have a director. And
No. Yeah, because Todd McFarlane keeps saying he wants to direct it, but it's like he hasn't made any movies, so.
and he said, yeah, he's not directing it now. He's not directing it. Like, dude, so what's taking so long? Why can't you find a
Yeah.
director?
I kind of wish I mean, I don't know if it would be good, but I mean,
It can't be
it's
worse than
his.
97 one, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I would kind of be interested to see him direct it because it's like, well, it's his character, and I mean, he drew and wrote the character, so it's like, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
he's
just not a director, right? I mean,
no
he could become a
advise.
director, but it takes some time.
He could advise. He could be like
Yeah.
a consultant. Because he is very protective of Spawn. He mentions that a lot.
Hmm.
Spawn is his baby.
Well, yeah, because it's his creation, and he doesn't
Yeah.
want a corporation to rule over it for
That's,
sure.
and that's the whole idea of Image, right? They don't want
Right.
corporations owning the characters, right? Like Venom, he created Venom, but Venom is not like he created Venom, but Venom is not a
Yeah,
foreign
he doesn't
creation.
own that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't own that character. Marvel owns the character. They can do
yeah,
whatever they want.
and you see why that's why Angela is in Marvel is because Angela was not owned by Image,
Right.
owned by Neil Gaiman, right? And there was a whole lawsuit over that. There was a whole like thing over that. And so, but Neil Gaiman won, and Neil Gaiman obviously has. But now Angela technically is Marvel's property now. He sold it to Marvel, I guess now. So Angela is not independent anymore, right?
Mm.
And a new Spawn anime. They're talking about a new Spawn anime series. To let you know, they are talking.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like the HBO series, so
yeah. It was too bad it got canceled very quickly.
yeah, yeah.
All right, it's almost midnight. Thank you for coming on, Blind. And where can we find you?
Yeah.
Long stream too.
Yeah, you can find me YouTube and Threads as usual.
Yeah,
Not
I didn't
really
realize.
doing anything because I'm busy, but yeah.
I didn't realize this stream went to 2.5 hours, even though that we had the clock on there. Even though
Yeah.
it was a 15-minute video, but there was a lot. There was actually a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I was rambling as like
Yeah,
crazy, but yeah.
yeah.
And I'm still
Well,
stuck on this part of the game. This is making me like fume right now because I'm like,
yeah.
why is this so?
You know
Why am I
what?
not getting it?
So, guys, tomorrow we're gonna do episode 3 of the Penguin spoiler review. Blinded, I know you haven't seen it, but if you don't care about
Yeah.
spoilers, you're always free to watch. If you do,
Well, yeah, I kind of do because I haven't watched it, so I'd be kind of confused. So,
yeah, yeah. So that's tomorrow, and then yeah. See you guys
all
tomorrow for
right.
the Penguin.
Peace.
I don't know how to do. How do I do his
I can't.